Good morning, South Africa. Welcome to yet another amazing Monday with us, Konala Vooka Breakfast Show. We are quarter to end of March, yeah, Baba. And just know that we are also getting one step closer to Family Day, Easter weekend, and of course the Rand Show. Now, I hope you also bought your tickets because we'll be there and we have something special for you, our viewers, coming up regarding the Rand Show. And obviously, I'm your host with the most. I go by the name of Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze. But the darker the berry, the sweeter the tuntu. Imnandi mamyama, mamflopilik teka pot mare, loco famana me, where tai komaka, and of course, I'm having you one. Petso Siswam, Pelanas, and I'm glad you decided to keep a little veggie at you feel sexy. How you doing, my love?
I am great, and you?
I'm doing okay.
That's amazing, Afriberry, and I hope you at home are having a wonderful Monday morning. My name is Tisiga Mazvugoshabala, your prime cut creative and your positivity dose of the day. And on that note, I want you to stay tuned because we are going to start your week for you on a high note. And as you will see throughout the show, we have so much in store just for you. But before we get into the show, we are going to head over to Mweketi My Money as he introduces us, as tradition is on the Vooka Breakfast Show, with the picture of the day.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mweketi My Money. Once again, it's a beautiful week, the start of the week. That is where we begin. Mondays. What are Mondays for? Mondays are for motivation. Are you motivated? It's something that I'm looking forward as we're going to be unpacking a lot of content that we're going to have for you throughout this week. But before I get into, what we call our picture of the day, I just want to ask the ladies, men out there that ladies, how are you doing this morning, man?
No, I'm doing fantastic. Yesterday, I celebrated my boobe's birthday. He was turning 6. It's a very huge milestone, man. Being a mom and a parent is very awesome, especially when you see the little youngings that you've nurtured throughout life just grow and sprout.
I love that for you, Afriberry. Mommies are important because you know what? We are the nurturers, the life bringers, the ones that hold you when you need it. And I am feeling amazing, Mo. Of course, I am on the Vooka Breakfast Show, so that means I am going to get my dose of energy from everyone watching at home. And I hope they are ready to feed me some of that engagement and their opinions so that I can get, energized and up and running and on a high to start my week and be positive and motivated. How about you, my brother?
I'm definitely good, man. And by the way, happy belated to the little one right there to Afriberry, man. I hope you guys had a very wonderful day because you know that weekends are actually something that we need. Weekends are to be used as to refresh ourselves, refuel ourselves as we are going to be looking for, towards, beautiful and positive vibes of the week. So speaking of days, you know that we have what we call the picture of the day. And you might be asking yourself, behind me, what is our picture of the day? Today we have what we call the Walter Sisulu Botanical Garden. Yes, you might be asking yourself, what is more about the botanical gardens and what is being done there? But before I get into that, I just have some background information about, the botanical garden, which was started in July 1982, and it is the second youngest of 9 national botanical gardens managed by the South African National Biodiversity Institute. And also the then Roodepoort and Krugersdorp city councils made the establishment of the garden possible by providing land on a 99-year lease and portions of it donation to the institute. The garden was initially known as the Transvaal National Botanical Garden and could only be visited by special arrangements. The garden was open to the public on a daily basis in 1987. And as the Witwatersrand National Botanical Garden in March 2004, the garden was renamed the Walter Sisulu National Botanical Garden in honor of the late ANC stalwart Mr. Walter Sisulu, who was born in 1912 and died in 2003, who together with the former President Nelson Mandela led the struggle for a democratic South Africa. So the species recorded on site a breeding pair of Virex eagle's nest and cliff near the waterfall. As you can see, the beautiful image right there behind me, man. You can see the waterfall, the trees, the beautiful landscape that the botanical gardens, offer. So, ladies, have you ever been to the botanical gardens?
Yes, Mo. A lot of the mindful creatives over at Prime Cup Creatives have gone there for hiking. Hike, flow, and write is the mindfulness practice that we do at Prime Cup Creatives. And of course, I've been there with my friends and family to celebrate birthdays in their beautiful parks, surrounded by nature with the beautiful waterfall. You can go walking around. There's braai stands there. There's a braai area. It's a really great place to go if you want to spend an outdoor experience with family and friends, and of course being surrounded by nature. So a great place to be if you're a nature lover. Have you, Everberry?
Yeah, I've actually been there. I disappeared and took a nap somewhere. I went there like at a school excavation. I just literally fell in love with the nature that it has, that I disappeared, find a little corner and decided to take a nap. By the time I came back, were they not panicking?
But isn't that the nice thing about nature though? Because you can just it's so relaxing. You can go outside and just sleep there, right?
I literally disappeared, and my teachers were like panicking. Where were you? Bro, I had to lie. Ma'am, I got lost, ma'am. Ma'am, I couldn't find my way, ma'am. Where?
You were emulating those, those park workers. Sometimes when they are done working, they just, lay on the grass and just go to bed. Yeah, well, that's from Afriberry. So have you, Mo?
No, I have never been to the botanical gardens, and right now, ladies, I just yearn to be you, man, because as a biodiverse man, a creature, I would love to find myself there and just explore the biodiversity that the botanical gardens offers. But we're going to be getting more into that. If you want to find yourself in the botanical gardens, you can simply visit their website, which is www.botanicalgardens Walter Sisulu botanicalgardens.co.za for more information on how to visit the site. That's all. Catch your next picture of the day tomorrow morning, same time, same place. But without wasting any time, let me give it to the ladies so that they can tell us what do we have today. And
before even telling you what we have today, I just want to see if I heard correct. Did you say you're a biodiversity creature?
Yep. Biodiverse.
A biodiverse creature. I thought it was just my Monday blues going through my ears, and maybe I heard something wrong there. Hi, okay. So as we have our biodiverse creature in studio, we'll be having a very jam-packed day today. We'll be having two amazing guests. One who's also a mover and shaker in the community, doing the best for what the community needs. And two, we'll also be having a business blog guest who'll be telling us about their business, their struggles, strengths, and weaknesses, and how they've overcome all those different challenges they've had.
Yes, I cannot wait for those interviews. Here at the Vooka Breakfast Show, we try to keep you informed, entertained, and engaged as much as possible. So don't forget to comment on our comment sections and leave your opinions and questions for our guests. Comment and leave your opinions for our guests. Don't forget, guys. Yes, so of course we also have your daily favorites here at the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your word of the day, today in history, and right now we are about to go and keep you updated with what's current and happening in and around the world with the news, and then get over to give you an update on the weather, what's happening outside, so you can prepare your outfits and look great with the weather update. And then we've also got your traffic with myself, Vooka Shabalala. So stay tuned for that as we go over to Moeketsi with the news.
Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Once again, Mzansi, good morning, and here are your news headlines for today. On the first one, it has been said that silent white people are complicit to the genocide lie. The Minister Gayton Mackenzie criticized white people for remaining silent on genocide misinformation, urging them to denounce claims by AfriForum and Solidarity about mass killings supported by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Afrikaner protesters petitioned Trump to intervene in policies like the Land Expropriation and the Bellas Act, claiming they harmed livelihoods. Trump halted the U.S. funding to South Africa despite assurances that laws were non-discriminatory. Mackenzie stated Trump had the right to withhold funds but not to accuse South Africa of the genocide. On the other news headline, South Africa strengthens its ties with Japan. The Deputy President Paul Mashatile has concluded his visit to Japan. He focused on trade, investment and diplomatic cooperation between South Africa and Japan. The visit comes as both countries mark 115 years of diplomatic relations and hold key leadership roles in global forums. Mashatile also met with business leaders and officials on investment opportunities, visa processing and energy security. On the last headline, the Rasool comrades await his return. Kunene has stated that the killings, Kunene has stated that killings are a declaration of war. A suspect has been arrested for the killing of two Rea Vaya bus drivers. Johannesburg Transport MMC Kenny Kunene has described the attacks on the city's bus system as a decision of war. The drivers were killed last month in two separate incidents in Soweto. That's all for your news headlines. Now, heading over to your sports headlines. On the first headline, Bafana and Benin set for the top of the table clash. South Africa will face Benin in the top of the table Group C clash in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers on a Tuesday on 25th of March at 6 p.m. in Abidjan. Bafana secured the first place in the group on Friday with a 2-0 victory over Lesotho in Polokwane thanks to goals from Relebohile Mofokeng and Jaden Adams after a challenging first hour. On the second headline, Aubameyang's Braves take Gabon top of the World Cup qualification group. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang Braves led Gabon to a 2-1 victory over Kenya in the 2026 World Cup qualifier in Nairobi, moving them 2 points clear of Ivory Coast in Group F. Aubameyang scored from a fine finish and a penalty, while Michael Olunga netted for Kenya, who are likely out of the contention. Gabon has 15 points from 6 matches, seeking the first ever World Cup berth. The top team in each group qualifies, while runners-up face a challenging playoff. On the last headline, Anthony Gordon leaves England squad and returns to Newcastle with a hip injury. The Newcastle forward has withdrawn from the England squad after suffering a hip injury during their 2-0 World Cup qualifying win over Albania. He came on as a substitute in the match at Wembley, but later sustained the injury. Gordon has returned to Newcastle United while England prepares to face Latvia in their next qualifier on Monday night at Wembley. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Do not forget to share your thoughts on these matches and headlines with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Moketi Maimane. Now let's get you prepped with your weather update and the traffic update with TC Kamazibuk.
name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Sivugile Mzansi. Now, if you're on the road, here's your latest traffic update. There is heavy traffic congestion has been reported on the N1 near the Buccleuch interchange, causing significant delays. Traffic is moving slowly on the N3 around the Galulis interchange, so plan for extra travel time. Congestion is affecting the flow on the N4 near the Bronkhorst Spruit toll plaza, leading to delays. The M1 southbound is completely closed near the Greystone Drive exit due to maintenance work, and drivers are advised to use alternative routes. An accident on the N12 westbound near Xavier Street off-ramp is causing disruptions, and emergency teams are on site. That is all from us here for your Vooka traffic. Get prepared to jump straight into your daily dose of the Vooka Breakfast Show with us, your Vooka Breakfast team.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here, my name is Musi Mest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my man. TC Shabanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manelin Viering. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TCO Mazibugo with the traffic update. Right now we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, away from school,
yes,
right?
Yes,
I'm gonna give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 16 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock, and this is your Vooka Breakfast Show, your energetic start of the day, located in the heart of Johannesburg, in Soweto, Dobsonville. So right now, what I want to do is just to, take a breather, just speak with the people right here so that I can, give people a chance to join in, because some of the important stuff that we have right here, you don't want to miss. So a very good morning to you if you are watching and if you just tuned in. Now it is the time. It is Monday. Mondays are for motivation throughout the week. So we've got a jam-packed show for you to enjoy, and it is very exciting. Of course, that you know that I am not always rolling alone right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I'm with my beautiful teams. Good morning, my beautiful people, and how are you doing? Starting with you, TC, man.
Yes, Mo, I am okay. I'm great. I am so ready for me to start the week with you guys here at the Vooka Breakfast Show. Of course, giving you my energy so we can have an energy exchange. I cannot wait to get right into what we have in store today.
Yeah.
And of course, the guests, man, I can't wait. Being here is always, it gives me such life. It gives me such joy to be joining in the live every morning with you guys and exchanging the energies, like I said. So yeah, give that right back. How are you, Musi?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Get up, smell the coffee, and get going. It is a brand new day, and thus it also marks the start to the brand new week. And this is another opportunity and a chance for you and I, and of course the rest of the team here on the table and in studio, to try and fulfill our goals and try to make all our dreams come true. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is what is going to promise. So it promises to really be your favorite rendezvous every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I hope and I trust that you're having an amazing one thus far. Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blinko Network, and of course you'll always be hanging out with me, the one and only MOOCEE Mist. My name is Musi Mist, and I absolutely could not be happier to be with you and be in your company on this lovely Monday morning where the weather is on our side, the birds are out and they're singing, the sun is shining, and we have so much in store for you. I can't wait. Like TC just said,
yes.
Can't wait to get into it. I promise you, stay tuned, you won't regret. Of course, you can also engage and interact with us across all our social media platforms. We go by Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the things that are necessary to be done so that you and I and TC and Mo and Afriberry and the rest of the team to connect and engage and interact with each other and share all our thoughts and our opinions and everything else in between. Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. So much is lined up for you because you know that we always bring you your movers and shakers right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So she will be joining us later. So what I'm going to do right now is to just read a little bit of who is she and, what is she about? Because we know that movers and shakers are very important people that we always need to look out for, especially in our community. We need to support them, give them all of the support that they need. Right. So today we're going to be having Miss Preeti Masheho. She is a mover and a shaker. So what I want you to do is to prepare the questions because she is a dynamic entrepreneur. She's a coach, advocate for sustainable business growth, and as the CEO of Celore Services, she specializes in sustainable housing solutions while also leading the Busy Bite. So you know that we always bring you interesting guests that you would like to have a conversation, engage with on our social media platform. But without wasting any more time, you know that we always look out for interesting headlines when we go through your news headlines. And also, if you have missed your first, headlines when we open the show, do make sure that you stay with us because a recap is coming on another top of the hour because now we are 11 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock. So on my article today, I hope that you guys got hold of that because the most important thing for the countries is to build those global relationships amongst each other, to cohere, to make use of the resources that we have, for the sustainability of our economic development. So Paul Mashatile strengthens the South Africa-Japan ties during a successful working visit. So Deputy President Paul Mashatile has concluded his visit to Japan. He focused on trade, investment, also diplomatic cooperation between South Africa and Japan. I know that some of the people are asking so many questions that, how is this going to benefit us? How is this going to bring us any good in these situations that we have? Because recently, our ambassador to the US has arrived and he landed at the OR Tambo International Airport. Ibrahim Rasool, the embassy to the US was, he landed right there at the OR Tambo International Airport. So the visit comes as both countries mark 115 years of diplomatic relations and hold key leadership roles in global forum. So I just want to go through, because it is very important to understand, if you're going to meet with someone, what is the meeting about? What is the agenda? Are we meeting so that we can invest in our countries, both our countries, improve how things are done in this fourth industrial world that we are in? So the visit allowed Mashatile to discuss collaborative opportunities that will drive economic growth, which is something that citizens want to hear. Infrastructure development. We have so many infrastructure that is decaying and dilapidating right now. And then we also have that the meeting was also about the diplomatic cooperation between the two countries. So guys, to pull you through into this conversation, did you know anything about the relationship that Japan and South Africa has together?
I mean, all I know is, of course, the automotive industry. We have ties, of course, with Japan for that.
Yeah.
But of course, the others, I mean, we are... The strengthening of the ties between South Africa and Japan, driven by the Deputy President Paul Mashatile's recent efforts, holds significant potential for the country's future, right?
Yeah.
These renewed diplomatic relations come at a time when South Africa is looking to boost its economy, through foreign investment, technology and infrastructure development. And obviously Japan, as one of the world's largest and most advanced economies, it brings opportunities for collaboration that can drive progress in key sectors like manufacturing, technology and skills development. So yeah, I think this is a positive step in the right direction for us as a country.
Yeah, definitely. As 2025, marks a significant milestone in global leadership. These are some of the partnerships, and collaborative, initiatives that we want to see as the citizens, because South Africa currently holds the presidency of the Group of 20, which is the G20 summit that will be taking place in December. So a lot will be discussed in terms of driving our economic development into wonders. So that is where we are, man. And another thing, while Japan prepares to chair the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, the TICAD 9 Summit, scheduled for August this year. This visit allows Mashatile to discuss collaborative opportunities that will drive economic growth, infrastructure development, and diplomatic cooperation between the two countries. Especially the economy is what we need to see growing. Inclining growth.
Definitely, Mo. Mashatile's engagements, particularly with companies like Isuzu, highlight the importance of foreign direct investment in South Africa's automotive and manufacturing industries, which are critical in a space where we are, facing unemployment, to create job creation and economic growth.
Yeah. Definitely. Growth is everything that South Africa needs as of right now. What is being driven by those things? Because we definitely needed the international relation also to step up, their, mojo, to make sure that all of those relationships are found on a very good and fundamental, healthy, basement. So indeed, South Africa and the broader African continent have trusted and respectable partner in Japan, said the Deputy President. He recognized the immense contribution that Japan has made through the TICAD in driving initiatives that promote peace, economic development, infrastructure, climate resilience, and also human resource development. Tell me what you think right there. What ties would you like to see us with Japan having, as TC, has mentioned that when it comes to the automotive industry, we have a very, very, very good relationship. But now, where we are, also with technology, and we have a lot of things that we can trade also with the neighboring countries right there, out there in southern parts of Asia, northern parts of Asia, eastern parts of Asia also. So this also talks with the diplomacy in promoting mutual understanding and collaboration. We just wish that everything goes well, as we saw a little bit of a shift in what we call, global and the world order. So definitely, we are hoping that fostering the stronger legislative and diplomatic ties in Japan and South Africa and also African countries will lead us to where we want to be as a country. So use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show to let me know what you think about that headline. And if you missed it, I'm going to give you your news recap on another top of the hour. So, Banele Mni, a happy belated to your little one. I think he meant, the little one for Afroberry. So definitely, my things are not working. It's Monday.
It's a Monday morning, Mo.
Yeah.
Happy
It's a Monday.
Yay! I can do it.
man.
Happy birthday! Yay! Jazz hands.
yeah, definitely. I hope that will be fixed as we're getting deep into the conversation, man. And join in. Let us know what you think on our comment section. We have Vooka Breakfast Show on each and every social media platform, and it is Monday. You know that Monday brings you good things, which is the Monday motivation. So moving on my comment section, I have Refilo Rasakhanzwara hashtag Sivugile Amavuga Amahle, and then Itumelen Dialar hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, a very good morning to you, E2. I hope that wherever you are having a good time, cup of coffee, and we are about to interact and engage throughout the show. KTTUZ Ojel Takara hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Definitely the hashtag to use, the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. I'm going to emphasize each and every minute just to remind you where we are. And then Mrs. Tembimni just joined in on the conversation. Ara, good morning. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile. I'm just glad to go to Abantu Bavugile because man, Mondays always come with dragging your feet up until you find that energy. Just to focus and get ready with your day, man.
Yeah, Monday blues. Nobody is exempt from Monday blues. But you know what? Here at the Vooka Breakfast Show, we give you the energetic boost that you need to make it throughout your day and throughout the week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned as we're about to give you that boost that you need.
Yeah, man. And before we get into that, I think it is very important for us also to discuss, man. But if we, begin Monday with the good energy, so what do we do on the weekend? Because for me, I feel so bad for myself, guys. I don't want to lie. I
Why?
feel so
Why
bad
is
for
that?
myself.
Why?
Because I use the weekend to, refuel myself.
So
How's that a bad thing?
It's
That's a great
bad,
thing. It's
man.
amazing.
No,
you shouldn't
man.
be spending the weekend to exhaust yourself so that when you come and then you're sluggish and then the rest of the week is really on such a lethargic note. You're just feeling all down in the
kill me.
dumps. It's no, man.
That's
Mo,
the
I think
point
that's
for
a
the
great
weekend.
way to spend your weekend.
In my own opinion, I think that's the point for the weekend. We need to, save the energy that we use during the week and use it for the weekend.
Yeah, you refresh.
Yeah. But, if we can get, at least 3 working days, it will be fair for us. 3 working days. Everyone deserves 3 working days.
Who will develop the economies?
How?
Who
3
will
3 days is
be
enough,
at the
man.
stores? Who will be serving you in the hospital?
Look at-
I mean, they were considering extending the week. I don't know. There was one time when they were looking. It's either swapping the day on which the week starts or extending the weekend.
Yeah.
If you guys know more about or have any idea about what I'm talking about, please support me
No, but it would-
in commenting and
I don't
verifying.
think it's a
and
good idea.
clarifying.
It would throw the entire world off balance, man.
There are countries who start, the work week on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So their work weekend starts on a Friday. So it's off. I have a friend who lives in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, in Dubai as well. They
So
have,
working days are 4 days.
from Friday. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Friday, Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the rest. Yeah, working week.
Which is a very good thing, man.
Yeah,
It's a
so
very good thing.
Friday and Saturday are the weekends.
Kens, yeah.
Yeah, but that's normal. It's like it's 2 days, two days out of the week, out of the 7 days that we have for weekend, and
Yeah.
then 5 days for working. My thing is, I don't think it would necessarily work to add an extra day
Yeah.
to the week and have
To the
8 days
weekend or
to
the week.
Yeah, to the week, so that we can have 5 working days and 3 weekend days.
No, 4 working days and 3 weekend days.
So which would be the extra day for the weekend?
Monday.
Monday.
People would still
And
be
then-
home right now.
And then things start on a
on Tuesday. Yes.
No, we should move Friday to Thursday. So that we can have 3 days.
Yeah,
for that.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You know,
Yeah.
when it's Thursday, everyone should be looking forward to resting the next day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's a scam to say, yes, thank God it's Friday, but the next thing you get home around at 9 o'clock.
Yes, at night.
When
Yeah.
you wake up already,
6
you're
o'clock,
tired.
yeah.
When you're tired, you wake up around at 8 o'clock. Then Sunday, it's chai. It's back to.
Exactly, back
It's back
to the
to-
work.
I'll tell you more. You and I are more or less on the same page on this one, especially with regards to this past weekend specifically. Because like I said on Friday, you and I had been complaining more or less about the same thing last week.
Yeah.
This flu that's been making the rounds and just being tired. And I think what contributed to it was that Monday started off as, as gloomy and rainy and wet and cold, and just the mood was not giving. So when you start off your week like that, it contributes to the rest of your week and how you're going to spend it, and how it's going to be ultimately. And that's why we felt so like we were really pushing ourselves. And I promise you, on Friday when we left work, we were like, yo, thank God it is
it's
Friday. And but look, man, it's a Monday morning, and I feel like since the weather is on our side and the weekend was well spent in terms of re-energizing and resting and refueling ourselves. This week promises to be a good one, man. So I'm on the same page with you on that one. I'm feeling much better than I was last weekend. This weekend, Elena, I took it to rest. I promise you, Saturday I got a hope. I was in the house the entire day. I think it's 9 and then I came back home.
Yeah,
I was
man, we
resting
should
the entire
normalize
week.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be busy. You
Yeah,
don't
and
always
going
have
out
to
and
be doing
stuff.
something.
Yeah.
Even just being at home like me.
definitely.
Being a homebody and just staying at home, it's good.
Yeah, because roaming around the streets can make you make bad decisions. by
Yeah,
the way,
definitely.
because I think people have grew up with the notion of just not doing anything. It's bad, And I hope that our society, man, changes. When time goes, because now we live in a different time. Things are moving rapidly. So each and every day when you wake up, the rent has gone down. So you must just relax, because there are a lot of amounts of stresses that people go through on each day. So it is very important to take each day, just leniently. Be lenient on yourself. Do not go so, rough on yourself. But and then on my YouTube, I can see we have people joining in. I have Zinzi Elizabeth, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Ama Vooka Amahle. Good morning. There we go. A very good morning. If you just joined in, do make sure that you stay with us. Use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So, that we always have the culture, that we always practice right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, where we bring you what is happening today and what happened today that brings you the significant memory that we call history. So, what I'm going to do right now, because, the weather is a little bit changing outside, let me just give you your weather update, and then whenever we come back, we're going to go straight in our Today in History and Word of the Day. 7 minutes past 8. You're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your energetic starter of the day, located in Johannesburg, which is Soweto, Dobsonville. My name is Mokiti Maimane, and I'm here with TC and Musi Mister. Before the break, we're just going through, headlines that are making the news, which is South Africa strengthens their ties with Japan. As you saw, Deputy Minister Paul Mashatile, visiting Japan, just to speak about everything that has to do with the investment and the relationship going on forward, so that we can see countries work better moving forward. So right now, what I'm about to do, before I get into you today in history, just to remind you that on the business blog, we're going to be having also Mr. Matibe, just to get, dive deeper into the world of business. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur and you want to know more about business, just stay tuned with us, because he will be joining us later. And also, we're going to be having Mrs. Priti Mashego on the movers and shakers. She's also an entrepreneur. So stay tuned to know more about her work and what she does for the community. So as you know that we always come with what has happened on today in history, and that serves as a significant memory. If you wanted to share anything that you know that has happened with us, please feel free to do so by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So today in history, what do we have? So interesting things right here. So I just want you to be with me, because some of the things I'm going to repeat, they are so deeply found in the chest, of the basement, because
What are you saying?
You are not
Hi,
gonna-
Orata Hampi, where is thinking? You are
These
so
things are
such a
deep.
character.
No, they're so deep.
Eh?
They're so
You
deep.
are really a biodiverse creature.
Indeed. So I just need you guys to just walk with me, man. Walk with me.
Okay.
Because we're not gonna always speak about Matiba, or Tambo.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Let's see
We're
what
gonna
you have
explore.
for us, Mo. Let's see what you have for
We're
us.
gonna explore to what outside world has for us. So today, guys, Exxon Valdez spilled 11 million gallons of oil, causing Alaska's largest U.S. oil spill. At 0004. Oh, what? Oh, 20. Okay. Or at 0004 on March 24, 1989, the 987-foot tank vessel Exxon Valdez struck Bligh Reef in Prince William Sound, Alaska. What followed was the largest oil spill in the U.S. history. Over 10 million gallons of crude oil flooded one of the nation's most sensitive ecosystem in less than 5 hours.
Sheesh, man.
Let me repeat that for you. So, Exxon Valdez spilled 11 million gallons of oil, causing Alaska's largest U.S. oil spill. At 0004 on March, I think it's 4 minutes past 12, right? 1989, the 987-foot tank vessel Exxon Valdez struck Bligh Reef in Prince William Sound, Alaska. What followed was the largest oil spill in the U.S. history. Over 10 million gallons of crude oil flooded one of the nation's most sensitive ecosystems in less than 5 hours. Right? So, it continues and saying, a fire. Oh, this is the next one. Sorry, this is the next one. But yeah, that was, the first one, the Exxon Valdez, that spilled 11 million gallons of oil. And then the next one, a fire began in Mont Blanc Tunnel, a major alpine automotive tunnel connecting France and Italy.
Yeah.
It took
I saw
2
that.
days to put out the blaze, and 39 people were killed. And that happened on this day in 1999, where the fire broke out in Mont Blanc Tunnel, and a major alpine tunnel connecting France to Italy, resulting to the death of 39 people and forcing the tunnel to close for 3 years.
Wow.
And then the last one, Bhutan held elections for the National Assembly, thereby completing the country's transition to a democracy. The country completed a successful transition from an absolute hereditary monarchy to a constitutional monarchy with a bicameral elected parliament in 2008, marking the final step in the transition to a parliamentary democracy. Right, the country completed a successful transition from an absolute hereditary monarchy to a constitutional monarchy with a bicameral elected parliament in 2008, marking the final step in the transition to a parliamentary democracy. Right, that is all for today in history. But before, let me ask that.
Very interesting stuff.
Do you have anything?
I do, of course. On a daily, I always have something very interesting. So today is the 24th of March 2025, and it is the 83rd day of the year, and of course, the 84th day in leap years in the Gregorian calendar. And today marks that there are 282 days left until the end of the year. Very, very interesting stuff. And other things that happened on this day in 2002. In 2002, on the 24th of March, film stars Denzel Washington and Halle Berry became the second and third African Americans to win Academy Awards for performances in leading roles.
Wow.
So in 2002, film stars Denzel Washington and Halle Berry became the second and third African Americans to win Academy Awards for their performances in leading roles. Very, very interesting.
Wow.
I found that very interesting.
That is
and
interesting.
On the same day, on the same night in 2002, Halle Berry also became the first black woman to win an Oscar for best actress. So in 2002, on this day, Halle Berry became the first black woman to win an Oscar for best actress.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting stuff. In 1603, after 44 years of Queen Elizabeth I of England. After 44 years, Queen Elizabeth I died on this day, and King James VI of Scotland ascends the throne and uniting England and Scotland under one single British monarch. Very, very interesting stuff. I'll repeat that again. In 1603, after 44 years of rule, Queen Elizabeth I of England dies, and King James VI of Scotland ascends the throne, and he unites England and Scotland under one single British monarch. Yeah. Very, very, very interesting stuff. And with that being said, we know we always have interesting birthdays on this day. The first one, Cats, I don't know if you'll be able to go with me. The first one is Lake Bell. Lake Bell, you might know from What Happens in Vegas, starring Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah, she's usually
Lake Bell is in those kinds of movies. Yeah. Lake Bell is the friend of Cameron Diaz in that movie, and Lake Bell was born on this day in 1979, and she is an American actress, a screenwriter, and a director. And of course, today she's turning 46 years. Today she's 46 years. Lake Bell. She's done quite a few movies. There's another one with Ashton Kutcher and who's that lady? Not Nicole. Is it not Nicole? Natalie Portman. Yeah, Natalie Portman, I think. Yeah, there's another movie that they are in. If memory still serves well, you know, you mentioned on Friday, we're movie connoisseurs, so there's so much to remember. Yeah. Of course, so Lake Bell is celebrating her birthday, and she was born on this day in 1979. Another interesting one, Kat, that I think maybe you might find, Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen was born on this day in 1930. And died on the 7th of November in 1980.
Wow. Steve McQueen is not a car, can't
you watch Cars. That's too much movies.
The car was named after the person.
Yeah, was named after the person.
Named after the person. And Steve McQueen was an American director and, an American actor and, did quite a lot of, those characters. my name is James Bond.
Yeah.
You know those,
Yeah.
passive,
Intense.
passive aggressive actors.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting, man. Steve McQueen was born on this day in 1930, but unfortunately, he passed on the 7th of November in 1980. So yeah, maybe when Uncle Khai, you know who Steve McQueen is, and you know some of the roles that he's played in the various movies and the number of movies that he's done on in Hollywood and stuff like that. So another interesting one, Cats, we have is Jessica Chastain, and I know you just mentioned that one. The first one that comes to mind for me is what's that movie she does? Mang Mang's Game. What's that movie she does? That poker game, man. That poker movie. Let me try to find it. What's that movie, TC? You watch movies, man.
I know, but like it's escaping my memory now. I mentioned to you, the one that I do remember is her role in The Help as Celia Foote. There she is a socially awkward and kind-hearted woman who's married to a wealthy man, Johnny Foote. So it's really, she's kind of, rejected by the other housewives because she's not from in the southern region of America. She's from humble beginnings, and in that era and The Help is really it's one of those movies.
I see The Help coming up as one of the movies that she's done. The other one that you might know is quite a famous one that came out a couple of years ago, recently. The 355. The 355. It has Lupita Nyong'o and all these other amazing actresses. Penelope Cruz, I think.
Oh, nice.
No, not Penelope Cruz. Come on, that lady. But she's a Latin American actress.
Salma Hayek?
No, not Salma Hayek. No, the other one.
She's
There's another one.
Hitman Bodyguard. Hitman.
No, not Salma Hayek. But yes,
wife.
Salma Hayek is in the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife. Yeah.
Okay.
But other movies that Jessica Chastain has done, the one I'm talking about is Molly's Game. Molly's Game, where she is, that lady who runs a.
I haven't watched.
You haven't watched Molly's Game.
I just know the
You need to go watch. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's an amazing movie.
I will go.
The other one that you might know is Miss Sloane, of course.
Yes.
That, like you just mentioned, and The Huntsman.
Oh yeah.
The Huntsman, the Snow White and the Huntsman 2, the second one, where she is the long lost wife of Chris Hemsworth character.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting stuff. Jessica Chastain was born in 1927 and is an American actress and producer, and she's turning 48 this year. Today, because my 79 are turning 46.
Okay.
2 years older. She's turning 48 this year. Very, very interesting stuff. The other one that I found very interesting that we might all be familiar with is Jim Parsons. Jim Parsons.
Sheldon Cooper.
Yes, Jim Parsons we might know from his very famous role as the whimsical and socially awkward Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon was Sheldon. Jim Parsons was born in 1973 and is an American actor and is turning 53 years old today.
Wow.
Another role that he does is in the movie, one of the movies we've covered in our movie review on a Thursday. What's that movie with... Come on, man. You guys, why do you
Which one? Who
Hey,
does it
Alina, I
stars?
don't know. Hey,
Because if
like
you can-
you're busy
if-
today.
if
Your
you can
brain
just
is
name one
buffering.
Yeah,
person.
man, it's Monday. It happens.
Because
It's,
we know him as this, physicist, man. I just can't imagine him with another character.
He's
from
also in
that
Fences.
character in, what you call Big Bang Theory. Like I can't just imagine him, as
No, not
someone
Fences, I
who, what you call, man. Yeah, what's the movie?
The movie is Hidden Figures. You remember a
Yes,
couple of
Hidden
weeks
Figures.
ago?
That's the one.
yeah.
I was
We
about to
did-
say
we
it's
did
Hidden Figures. Instead, I said Fences.
Yeah. We did Hidden Figures, and he's part of the cast there, and he's part of the physicists who are trying to,
Yes.
help with, mapping out where to land the spaceship and all the calculations and stuff like that. So very, very interesting stuff. Jim Parsons, born in 1973 and is turning 53 years old today. Second to last one of the birthdays that I have, third to last, have very interesting ones, guys. So many people are born today.
know.
The other one that I have here, Kat, is The Undertaker from WWE.
Oh, yes.
The
that one.
Undertaker, and his name is actually Mark Calloway.
I was quite interested to hear his real name.
his
Mark
real name,
Calloway. He's got
Mark
such
Calloway.
a unscary name.
Like from his like
Mark Calloway.
gothic character on WWE. Yeah. So The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, was born in 1965 and is an American wrestler.
Yeah.
Today he's turning 60 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
For so
He's
long, I
old.
thought he was dead.
60.
Yeah. Actually, for so long, I thought he was
because
dead.
remember when I think it was WrestleMania, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
where he
Yeah, man, where the rumors came and said Undertaker died.
is
man.
gone. Man, I
For
know
so
that's
long
how
I
they used
believed.
to. WWE was wild growing up.
How?
That's how
Yeah.
we grew up on WWE, where we gather as kids in the hood and watch WWE at one of the the children's houses,
Yeah.
and we'd watch about Undertaker doing their thing. I don't know how many of those wrestlers died and came back to life. Others doing crazy things, and then there we were, like so excited. I want to go back to that kind of
that
excitement
era.
as a
Yeah.
child.
God,
Yeah.
You know, it's so like that excitement, that pure,
But I'm don't
unbridled
understand
excitement.
what
Nostalgia.
SmackDown
Yeah.
and Raw
And you
did
guys
to
are
us.
so in there. Like,
Yeah,
Ngari, it's this thing. And
I remember it was this one that came through WWE. Well, I don't know if you remember it. Maybe you might have been slightly younger, but no, not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah.
But you might remember this one. DX.
yeah.
Let us so.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it DMX?
No.
DX or DMX? Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
yeah, and they did that thing, yeah. Man. So yeah, man. The Undertaker is celebrating his birthday today. Born in 1965 and is turning 60 years today. And he's an American wrestler known as The Undertaker, but born as Mark Calloway. Very, very interesting stuff. Second to last, I have here is Alison Hannigan. Alison Hannigan, we might mostly
American
know from
Pie.
American Pie. Yes, and is the girlfriend to that guy. I forget his name in the
I
movies.
also forget his name. Yeah.
But he's appeared on a few things. Jason Biggs, yes.
Yeah, there you
Jason
go.
Biggs as Jim Levinson. Yeah, Jim Levinson. Yeah, very, very cool stuff.
So embarrassing.
Alison Hannigan is celebrating her birthday today and was born in 1974 and is an American actress and is turning 51 years old today. Very, very, very cool stuff. So it says here, Alison, let me see if I can get it very quickly for you.
She also
There
stars.
we go.
I'm hearing that she also stars in the movie The Fox. I don't know if you guys know it.
No.
Meet the Fokker.
Meet the
Oh,
Fockers.
Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, Meet the
Yeah.
Fockers. I know the movie.
my
Yeah, I know the movie. So, Alison Lee Hannigan, known professionally as Alison Hannigan, is an American actress and television presenter. She began her film career with supporting roles in the comedy film Impure Thoughts and My Stepmother is an Alien. Do you know that one?
No.
You don't know? She received a Young Artist Award nomination for the latter. So it's a very cool movie. Go check that one out as well. My Stepmother's an Alien. Very, very funny movie.
But that's an old movie,
Yeah, it
though.
is,
It's
yeah.
an old movie. I think I
Just
watched it on
Dalang
ETV,
Pula,
Baba.
Emhlabeni.
Yeah, I watched it on
Dalang
ETV at
Pula.
some point after school.
Yeah. So Alison Hannigan is celebrating her
young
birthday today, born in 1974, is turning 51 years old today. Very, very interesting stuff. And then, Cats, the last one I have that I'm hoping that most, if not all of us, are familiar with is Harry Houdini.
Houdini, the
famous
magician.
Yes. Harry Houdini, born in 1874, was a Hungarian-American magician, escapologist.
Yeah, he specialized in like those
escapologist, a stunt performer, and actor, and a film producer. Was born in 1874, died in 1926. Very, very interesting stuff. Eric Weiser, known professionally as Harry Houdini, was a Hungarian, like I said, a stunt performer and stuff like that. Died on the 31st of October 1926 at the age of 52 years old in the United States in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Very, very cool stuff, man. Like I said, he was a stunt performer and a magician. Those people
I
who
love
escape
those.
from stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah,
I
so
love those.
Harry Houdini was the last birthday that we had today for celebrity or interesting and celebrity birthdays for the date 24 March. So, if of course, there's anything that.
Well, he's not the last one. We
He's not.
have the
Oh, you
last
have
one
another
here,
one.
which
Yes.
is, Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, yes, Tommy Hilfiger. Yes,
Tommy,
I saw that
Tommy.
one. Sorry,
The
Ken.
designer.
Yeah, so he would have turned 71 years today. He was born in 1951, and we know that his career in fashion began in 1968 when he co-founded a clothing and a record store called People's Place in upstate New York using $150 he saved from working at a gas station. And he is an American fashion designer and the founder of Tommy Hilfiger Corporation. After starting his career by co-founding a chain of jeans fashion stores called People's Place in upstate New York in the 1970s, he began designing a preppy clothing for his own eponymous menswear line in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting, man. You know.
Yeah,
cool
very
stuff.
interesting. I don't know if I
Very
can
cool
just
stuff.
add on today in history, just
Yes,
some
how many
notes.
people are growing up?
No, it's not even just today in history, not a birthday. All the
Yeah.
birthdays I have Musi mentioned.
Yeah.
NATO's first attack on sovereign country. For the first time in 1999, NATO launched airstrikes against Yugoslavia during the Kosovo War, acting without a UN mandate, as well as in 1965, Ranger 9 moon mission happened. NASA's Ranger 9 spacecraft deliberately crashed into the moon, providing valuable data and images of the lunar surface.
Yeah.
And then in 1980, the assassination of Archbishop Oscar Romero in El Salvador. Archbishop Oscar Arnolfo Romero was assassinating while celebrating Mass, becoming a martyr for human rights and justice. And of course, we are still in Human Rights Month here in South Africa, and we just celebrated Human Rights Day last week, Friday. So that one is quite notable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a very happy
yeah.
birthday to all of people who are growing up today. If you know anyone who is growing up today, just give them a shout out right here using the
Shout
hashtag
out.
Vooka Breakfast Show. And then Hector Takalani, morning breakfast, the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, Mr. Hector.
Hey,
and then
TK, how's it going, my
Hello,
brother?
man.
comes back
Hey,
and saying
TK.
on this day, when it comes to the history, I guess we are looking at what
Yeah.
is happening today in history.
The 24th of March, yeah.
Are on this day marks the day 2025, 24 of March being broke. Good show.
Yeah, him and I, we actually bumped into each other on
Don't
Saturday.
worry.
And, we were mentioning how it's going to be such a long week. Because, guys, when is the month ending?
How for some other people, tomorrow is payday.
Payday, yeah.
Give me money.
Give me my money. But
Yeah.
if anything that you know that's served as a significant memory, do make sure that you share it with us, because we've got some more and to share with you, bringing you every knowledge that we have
Yes,
right
sir.
here. You
Yes,
know
sir.
that exchange of knowledge, it's something that we do. So you know that we always have another one whereby we saying words play significant roles in our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I am just, I can't wait. What do we have? Because I just need some motivation, man.
Very
Give
interesting.
me a way that
Is
can
that
really
words are your
motivate me.
motivation?
But more like I
Words are my
said
motivation.
on Friday morning, if you were tuned in and you were watching and you were hanging out with us this past Friday, I told you that we're going to have a twist
Oh, yes.
on the word of the day. And like Mo said, us exchanging or sharing with you the word of the day on a daily basis is aimed at us improving our day-to-day spoken language and ultimately our vocabulary. So I'll make an example. Like last week, one of the days, one of the words of the day was obdurate.
Oh, yes.
And obdurate means to be stubborn and unwilling to change one's opinions and thoughts, right? So words like that, vofugacious, it's
Yeah.
fleeting and it's only lasting for a small amount of time. Words like salient, meaning meaning important. You know, so I would say that the Vooka Breakfast Show is quite a salient, you know, thing for you on a day-to-day basis.
Nice.
And it is not a fugacious thing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And one needs not be obdurate about their thoughts and opinions when watching the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Definitely.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Fluidity is the word of
This
the
is
day.
aimed at improving our vocabulary and our day-to-day spoken language. You would know that the English language is varied, beautiful, and sometimes confusing with its inclusion of non-phonetically spelled words and complex grammatical rules. However, it also has many unusual and cool words with cool meanings to discover. And on a day-to-day basis, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we bring you such amazing words that you can learn and ultimately start including and implementing in your vocabulary and ultimately in your day-to-day spoken language.
Yeah.
So, like I said last week, we're gonna have a twist
Okay.
to our word of the day. We're still going to have a word.
Yes.
Right? But the twist is that this week we are doing idiom of the day.
Nice. I
We're
love
doing
that one.
idiom of the day. So you might be watching and listening and asking yourself, Musi, what are you talking about?
What is an idiom?
What
Because
is
we
an
know idiots,
idiom?
but idioms.
An idiom. So, like, look, man, there's no master of pronunciation as long as you have the correct spelling and the correct definition of the word. So, the word idiom means that I had it somewhere here. There we go. An idiom is a phrase or an expression whose meaning cannot be understood from the literal meanings of the individual words, instead carrying a figurative or non-literal meaning.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that again. An idiom is a phrase or expression whose meaning cannot be understood from the literal meanings of the individual words, instead carrying a figurative or non-literal meaning. So you might say idiom or idiom, but as long as you understand the words don't mean what
exactly
they mean
what they mean,
individually,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the idiom of the day for today is as follows. Cats, I don't know if you have it. I sent it to you, and you should be reading it on your screen right today. The idiom for today, the 24th of March, is as follows: a touch of melancholy in the air. A touch of melancholy in the air. So us as the team here would love to know what that idiom means. So do of course engage with us and share your thoughts as to what you think that idiom of the day means. The idiom is as follows. I'll repeat it one more time. A touch of melancholy in the air. And the word to take away from that idiom as the word of the day is melancholy. Of course. And melancholy is a noun which means and is spelled as follows: MELANCHOLY. The spelling of melancholy is as follows: MELANCHOLY. Melancholy is a noun, and the definition of melancholy is this: a pensive or thoughtful state of mind. A pensive or thoughtful state of mind. And the way you can use the word melancholy in a sentence is as follows: an air of melancholy surrounded him.
An air of melancholy.
An air of melancholy surrounded him. So with that example of a sentence and with the idiom, I'm sure you can try and deduce what the idiom means. So we're going to come back and see if you have found or you figured out what the idiom of the day means. The idiom is a touch of melancholy in the air. The example of using the word melancholy in a sentence is an air of melancholy surrounded him. So try and figure out, man, what does the idiom do? So throughout the remainder of the week, we're going to be doing idiom of the day.
Sounds interesting.
With
I like
a
it. I
touch
love it.
of the word of the day.
That's
in the idiom, there's going to be an interesting word that you and I, and of course everyone who's listening and watching, are going to learn. And of course, man, this is aimed at improving our spoken language, our day-to-day spoken language, and our vocabularies ultimately. So I hope you found those interesting. I personally did.
Of course.
Such amazing stuff, man. English is a very interesting language, man.
Very diverse.
We need to, man. Hey, man, I'm feeling bad.
It's
There's nothing
necessary.
wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Simplified layman's
simplifying
English.
is nothing wrong. But we need to,
Advance. Yeah?
elevate. One of our words a couple of weeks ago was elevate. We need to
flourish,
elevate.
man.
Exactly, Mo. So I hope you found those interesting. On a day-to-day basis, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink Network. We always give you very amazing and interesting stuff that happened and occurred in history. And of course, following that, we give you word of the day. But this week, like I just mentioned, that we're going to be doing idiom of the day, and I just shared one with you, hoping that you will engage and with us and interact with us and see if maybe perhaps you can deduce what that idiom
at
means.
you,
Come on, man. I came ready for this week. I told you. Give me more. Give me the
My things are not.
Your things are going through a Monday.
So, the time right about now is 18:37. That's 37 minutes past the hour 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, the 24th of March, 2025. And we have so much in store for you today. And look, man, after the break, we're going to be getting into things of Monday motivation, because when the week starts, we need a dose of motivation.
Yeah, and one of the guests that we are going to have on the show today has arrived.
Definitely.
So I want you to stay tuned for that interview so you can find out more about this individual and their work in what they do.
Yeah, definitely. On the business blog, we're going to be having Mr. Tepo Matibe. So do make sure that you stay with us. As we're heading to the top of the hour, we're going to be giving you a recap of your news headlines and your latest traffic headline. So let us get you prepped with your weather update.
Muketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
All right, once again, morning Mzansi. Here's a recap of your news headline. On the first one, it has been said that silent white people are complicit to the genocide lie. Minister Gayton Mackenzie criticized white people for remaining silent on genocide misinformation, urging them to denounce claims by AfriForum and Solidarity about mass killings supported by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Afrikaner protesters petitioned Trump to intervene in policies like land expropriation and the Bella Act, claiming they harmed livelihoods. Trump halted the U.S. funding to South Africa despite assurance that laws were non-discriminatory. Mackenzie stated Trump had the right to withhold funds but not to accuse South Africa of genocide. On the other news headline, South Africa strengthens its ties with Japan. Deputy President Paul Mashatile has concluded his visit to Japan. He focused on trade, investment and diplomatic cooperation between South Africa and Japan. The visit comes as both countries mark 115 years of diplomatic relations and hold key leadership roles in global forums. Mashatile also met with business leaders and officials on investment opportunities, visa processing and energy security. Rasool Comrades await his return. On the last headline, Kunene has stated that killings are a declaration of war. A suspect has been arrested for the killings of 2 Rea Vaya bus drivers. Johannesburg Transport MMC Kenny Kunene has described the attacks on the city bus system as a declaration of war. The drivers were killed last month in 2 separate incidents in Soweto. That's all for your news headline. Now heading over to your sports headlines. Bafana and Benin set for top of the table clash. South Africa will face Benin on the top of the table Group C clash in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier tomorrow at 6 p.m. in Abidjan. Bafana secured first place in the group on Friday with a 2-0 victory over Lesotho in Polokwane thanks to goals from Relebohile Mofokeng and Jaden Adams after a challenging first hour. Heading over to your second sports headline, Aubameyang brace takes Gabon top of the World Cup qualification group. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's brace led Gabon to a 2-1 victory over Kenya in the 2026 World Cup qualifier in Nairobi, moving them 2 points clear of Ivory Coast in Group F. Aubameyang scored from a fine finish and a penalty, while Michael Olunga netted for Kenya, who are likely out of the contention. Gabon has 15 points from 6 matches, seeking their first ever World Cup berth. The top team in each group qualifies, while runners-up face a challenging playoff. On the last headline, Anthony Gordon leaves England squad and returns to Newcastle with a hip injury. The Newcastle forward has withdrawn from the England squad after suffering a hip injury during their 2-0 World Cup qualifying win over Albania. He came on as a substitute in the match at Wembley but later sustained the injury. Gordon has returned to Newcastle United while England prepares to face Latvia in their next qualifier on Monday night at Wembley. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Do not forget to share your thoughts on these matches with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Muketi Maimane. Now, let's get you prepped with your latest traffic update with TC Kamazivukwa.
Sivugile Mzansi, I hope you're still staying safe and cautious on these roads. But if not, here is your latest traffic update. A stationary vehicle has been reported on the N1 northbound at the Flying Saucer interchange, affecting the off-ramp from the Buerta Avenue M18, with one out of 6 lanes closed. A stationary vehicle has been reported on the N1 southbound before the Brackfontein Road, affecting the on-ramp to, affecting the on-ramp to the Brockfontein Road with the shoulder currently closed. Apologies for that one. There is congestion on the N1 northbound after Malibonge Malibonge Drive, affecting the off-ramp to the Malibonge Drive off R512. There is congestion on the N1 southbound between the Brockfontein interchange and Olifantsfontein Road, affecting the off-ramp from the Donny Uber Freeway N1 South. That is all from the Vooka traffic with me, Tisiga Mazibuko Shabalala. Now, prepare yourself as we are about to go to the interview with our business blog guest, Utepo Matibe.
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibuko Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Ketua Ketumgunu.
On the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various aspects from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Well, yeah, Super Blossom memory. Yes.
Wow.
A 12 minutes till we hit 9 o'clock and you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show with me, Mweketi Maimane. And before the break, we gave you your latest traffic update. I hope you guys are safe wherever you are, if you are driving, and staying safe, of course, on the roads. And then I have Hector Takalane at a traffic update. If you are heading to OR Tambo International on R24 Road North, there are delays and it looks like there is an accident. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Hector. And for those who are listening, I hope that you guys got a hold of that. Let me repeat. So there is a traffic update. If you are headed to OR Tambo International on the R24 Road North, there are delays and it looks like there is an accident. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Hector. And if you'd like to get more updates, do make sure that you stay with us by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So without any more further to do, let's get straight to the business of the day. Today we're all about business and the guest has just joined us right here. But before I'm with the one and only Musi Mist. My good sir, are you still with me?
Mr. Mo, I'm still good, my brother. And, like I told you, I'm looking forward to what we have in store this morning, on this Monday morning. And, the conversation that we're about to have, I can't wait. Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we try our utmost best to always bring you the relevant people who are doing amazing stuff in and around our communities. And on this Monday morning, it is no exception whatsoever. Sitting right next to me is Tabiso Matibela, and off camera we're having a conversation about what he is hearing as he's been sitting, when he arrived this morning in studio, and he's saying that he's hearing and finding your surname very interesting, Mwekezi, and we're seeing that there's some relation somewhere down the line, in our family trees. He's familiar with the Maimane family, right, Mr. Tabiso? Yes, sir. sir.
Musi, let me tell you something.
Talk
guys.
to me.
You know, there is a relation because Tabiso, I think, is here for business, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. And when you actually pronounce the word my man,
Yes, sir.
you know, you will pick up that there's money there.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay,
So
we're getting money.
Yeah, the relation
More
it
money.
does. Exactly.
Okay,
More
okay.
money, man. More money.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, definitely, better. It is a conversation that we are going to get into.
Definitely.
Tepo Matibe. So, Mr. Tepo, kopa fela atamele on the mic so that we can have a very, very a good conversation here
Yes,
because
sir.
I have my people listening right here on YouTube. So, what I want you guys to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show as we are getting deep into the conversation. Good morning, sir, and how are you doing this morning?
I'm great and you guys, and thank you so much for inviting me here.
Definitely, man. We really appreciate you taking the time, Obutitabiso, to come and hang out with us and spend some time with us and get into the story of Tabiso Kemang, where is Tabiso from, what are some of the things that he's involved in, and just find out a bit more about you as an individual and all of the things that you're involved in and all of the spaces that you're involved in, man. So without any further ado, let's jump straight in, man. I'll tell you before getting into it that one of the things that I love finding out about different individuals is the story about as an individual, and ultimately what led you to find yourself doing some of the things and being involved in some of the spaces that you're involved in, because it gives us so much insight as to Umang as an individual, and what influenced you and encouraged you and pushed you to ultimately get where you are today. So let's jump straight in. Tabiso Kemangi, how did you grow up? Where did you grow up? And all of that, shebang and all of those types of things. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where do I start? All right. Tsepo Ukholetsego Protea North. With my dad, my mom, my baby sister,
yes, sir.
my older brother. And we had a very good upbringing, like school and all that.
Yes, sir.
And we morphed into actually getting jobs and all that. I started working for Macro and morphed into actually being an external sales for a company that was actually supplying the products that I'm currently using. So yeah, that's how my actual business started. So this is how it started. I learned that there's a thing called vinyl. There's a thing called application when it comes to vehicle branding. We do vehicle branding, we do T-shirts, but I'm mostly into vehicles due to the fact that I'm passionate about making people's cars look way better than what they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me. The other thing that I would like to actually emphasize before we even go forward is that I had a friend that actually pushed me to actually get this business running, which is Shaki, one of my friends in Mayfair.
Yes, sir.
He's also doing vehicle wraps, and I used to supply him from my previous employer. So he's like, bro, you good with people? You good with what you actually doing? Because I used to actually help him wrap his vehicles, and I started loving the actual printing and branding industry and morph into it.
Yeah.
We based Momorokvili, and currently it's pumping, and I'm glad that God is on our side.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Definitely,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Good to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Because we know that there is a lot of misinformation about the business world. That is why we have people like you to come here and elaborate further on what is happening. So, what I want to ask is, what inspired the business, or did the business start really as the vehicle, branding as the vision and the mission, or it started as something else?
Well, it started as a printing and branding institute, whereby we actually wrap vehicles, we do T-shirts, we do wall murals, and with the people that were around me, we actually pushed to the level that I actually saw that I could actually do this myself. Instead of working for somebody else, why not do it myself? And I did that, and it worked for me, to be honest with you guys.
But then is it, because I'll tell you, man, like I say, I always find it fascinating and interesting for me. Because what you find as most of us, as adults, a lot of the spaces that we're involved in aren't initially what we wanted.
Yes.
Sure. You know,
Sure.
so is this maybe perhaps something you went to school for? Has this always been an interest for you growing up? Or did you want to find yourself being involved in something else, and then life happened, you know, and you and then eventually ultimately found yourself being involved in what you're involved in now?
Okay. This is how it started.
Yes, sir.
I did a graphic designing course.
Oh, okay.
Right? So drawing was my thing.
Yeah.
Changing, like taking a BMW and putting different decals on it. As is, but putting different decals on it. So it was like a wake-up call to me, stating that, okay, yes, you can draw, but what else can you do, especially when it comes to your graphics designing? If you look at graphics designing courses, they actually teach you how to actually design.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I could design, that means I can actually apply it on a vehicle or apply it to become an item. Great, get my drift?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it started there. I went into graphic designing, and I thought I would go into interior designing, but that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And now we morphed into actually branding and printing vehicles.
Wow.
And
Very
looking at
interesting.
it, the people that I used to supply, they're all in the north, in Jersey. If you look at their business, it's quite broad.
Yeah.
This pie is very big because you could do T-shirts. 2 streets away, you could have somebody else doing something different. But it's all about branding. And everything that we have in South Africa needs branding. It's a sign. You need branding.
Yeah.
It's a barcode. You need
It needs branding.
It's branding. So everything that we actually see on the road, it is branding. So let's share the pie.
Yeah,
Why not share the
definitely,
pie?
definitely.
Yeah.
I love that, man. You know, a couple of years ago, more, you know, I'm very involved in the artistic and creative spaces.
Yeah.
And this one director, he's a very big individual in the music space and entertainment space in South Africa. But no one hardly knows him. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
But he's
always
doing,
in the background.
Yeah, but he's doing so much. You know, he's been involved in very, very big shows that we're all familiar with. And one of the things he mentioned, Rebecca, this one time was that, you know, the market and is so open that there can be 50 other
Yes.
other businesses doing the exact same thing. And we
yes.
can all eat because there's so much of the pie, you know. I think, and maybe I could be wrong. I'm no businessman in any capacity whatsoever, right? But I feel like we tend to be given this narrative that business ikana and you have to be the only one doing it, go community, you have to corner the market, only one. And it's all, I personally feel it's always good to have variety.
Yes.
If I'm not really vibing and gravitating to what Tabiso does, I can go to a Musi, I can go to a Milketi. You get what I'm trying to say?
True
and
that.
I love how you say that there's always room, and there's room for other people to come in because there's so much of the pie. I love that, man. We need more people thinking like that. Definitely.
For like an example,
yes, sir.
There's a guy just here in Dobsonville Mall, Fagizindo. That guy is amazing. Yes, we might have issues in a business. Let's say, for argument's sake, your machine dies. Or it gives you issues. You can actually give him a call. It's like, bro, I need to do 1, 2, 3. Can you help? Yeah, come through. This is like, it's a circle. We are all in one. The last time he had a very urgent job, but he didn't have material. He could buy material, but it was on a Saturday when all the suppliers were closed. Tsepo, I need 5 meters of your white printable. Can you help me out?
Man.
There you go, bro. Push your job. So it's not about him getting jobs. It's about us eating as a community.
It's a community.
Understand?
True.
And the other thing is that we are creating jobs.
Definitely.
There's an applicator for vehicle wraps, right? There's a designer that needs to do the design before we even wrap the car. You understand? So we are all in one. We can all be based in Soweto. But yes, let's share the pie.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. It's very good, hear you saying that, because I think it's one of the awareness that needs to be raised in sharing the part of what is happening.
Yep.
So my next question is, I heard you saying, it's branding that
Yep.
you need to apply everywhere. So now, how do you actually determine a need for vehicle branding? And now, what sets you apart from other competitors?
Okay. Me being set apart from other competitors is that I was working for a corporate company, right? So I was taught everything from the materials, the year durability, what works for this and what won't work for that.
Okay.
For an example, there's a trailer that came in, right? And you want your actual branding to last you at least 5 years. Obviously, you need to use a different product. There's a monomeric, there's a polymeric, and there's cost. So those are different types of products that you get into the market, especially from your suppliers.
Yeah.
Understand? So I cannot use a cheaper material to put on your actual branding, on your trailer, to make it work for 5 years. That's not going to last.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
Yes, for your small decals, for standard barcodes, for your, let's say for argument's sake, you need just your logo
Yes,
on your
sir.
biscuits, on your wrapper for your biscuits.
Oh, yes.
We can use a monomeric, which is a cheaper product. But if you look at it in my way, right? You can go to a store in Four Ways and they'll give you a monomeric. But at the charge of a poly or at the charge of a cost.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that because we know what products to use. Understand?
Yeah.
So when I was I just need to write Polo on my vehicle or GTR on my car.
Yeah.
And I go for a monomeric vinyl. That thing won't last. Understand? So I've learned products. I've learned how to applicate the products. And to be honest with you, what separates me from the rest is that we are different.
Yeah.
In a way whereby we could actually stand for what we did on your actual vehicles or whatever product that you brought to us.
Yeah.
For argument's sake, you bring your vehicle, you want a full wrap. Let's say the nano gray, the Audi and all that.
Yeah.
Right? There is a cheaper product, there is an expensive product. Whereby that more expensive product will last you longer. You could have one drive on the road and something is peeling off.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's killing your
Yeah.
business. That's like me putting your name down, to be honest, because it's your brand.
Yes.
If you love your brand so much, I need to respect it and give it that look that you wanted to have. Understand? And it works for me every time. Yeah, you can go to somebody and ask for a coat. And they'll give you a quote of, for argument's sake, 20,000. Let's say 20,000 to wrap your vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? And then you come to me and sit you down. I said, okay, this is what we have. This is what we have. Which one would you like to have? Due to your affordability.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm more into helping business grow instead of making money. Yes, we all love money.
Definitely.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dispute that.
Yes.
But if you give me your vehicles and I brand it or wrap it in a respectable way whereby the next person would say, I want
that. Yeah. Very interesting. I wanna look, man. You touched on a few very interesting and intriguing things, and one of them is that the same person who's doing the same business as you, situated and based in Four Ways, could wrap something for you and do a branding for you, like you mentioned, like on a biscuit logo or something like that, or something of that sort, right?
Yes.
You said numeric. There's a difference between numeric.
There's a monomeric.
Monomeric?
Mono meaning one.
Yes.
There's a
Polymeric.
A polymeric
Right.
is like from 3 years to a 7 year.
Okay. So you mentioned that someone in Four Ways can charge you this thing, the
Monomeric price, a polymeric price,
with a monomeric
and
thing.
uses a monomeric.
Let me ask you then, because the difference is how long they each last, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you found that in the space of branding and designing and things of that sort, that businesses maybe tend to do that, ba favor to the one that lasts a short amount of time, in hopes of clients returning, coming back for business, but charging them for the polymeric? Is it something that maybe perhaps that's been done by some business owners and businesses?
Okay, honestly, I don't think so. Because you might bring your most expensive vehicle. You give me a G63 for argument's sake, right? Yeah. And you want those AMG decals on it. That costs plus minus $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And 6 months down the line, it's peeling off. Would you even think of coming back to me?
No,
you won't.
No.
You move on to the next supplier or to the next end user that will give you a product that will last you longer. It makes your car look better.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yeah.
So it's all about how you do it and explaining to the client.
Yeah.
Bro, this is your budget. This is what I can do for you. And if you like it, we can do it. But I'm not guaranteeing this will last you longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
So that a client can understand that you explain that I can use a monomeric, but it won't last as long as your polymeric.
Yeah.
You know, I'm giving you options. Instead of me losing the business, let's rather have a chat and see where we stand.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the product. Understand?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Because I know more with some other spaces, but with regarding in business, some businesses do that.
Yes, they do.
You know,
the thing is with vinyl, you can't even. Let's say for argument's sake, you need a blue like KV funerals, SG Ngosi's.
Yeah.
You know, their products are always on the, by the sun or always being hired by somebody to be placed on an open felt or at home on a street being blazed by the sun the whole day.
Yeah.
So you can't use a cheap product that will actually fade off and tarnishing the client's brand or reputation.
Yeah.
You know? So if you, for argument's sake, explain to the client that it's done this way, but it's supposed to be done that way.
Okay.
Understand? Even the suppliers, you can actually have a look at your suppliers. There is a supplier that will always supply a cheap product just to make their margins and get you running. Understand?
Yeah.
So like your wall murals, wall vinyl is expensive.
Yeah.
People don't understand it, especially when it's not printed. And you come to me, you want a customized product. You know, I do customize it for you, but at the charge. And I still have guys that will have to go there and actually apply the actual product.
Yeah.
So we also trying to make this guy happy, try to make you happy, and still keep our doors open.
Yeah.
So it's a factor of too many things.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that when you explain that to especially people, friends or partners that you are working around with.
Yeah.
You get my drift.
Tempo is too much, man. Tempo is doing too much and is charging too much. And also, you know, speaking of designing, man, have you ever found yourself in a situation whereby a client comes, you know, with what they have designed and you had to look at it and say, you know what, I think here, these are some of the changes that we need to do so that it can look better.
So, when it comes to designing, I always do this. Let's say for an example, you come through, you say you need cups branded, right?
Yeah.
You give me a picture, you give whatever you need to give me, like your breakdown.
Yeah.
I want this written on the left. I want this written on this side, and I would take that, put it on a mock-up for you, and take my own designs and thoughts and put it on another markup. Send what you sent me.
Yeah.
Said this is your one.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we should do it this way.
Yeah.
Then I confused the client. Yo, bro, I didn't know what to do now anymore.
Yeah. I don't know what to go with.
This is what I wanted, but this looks
now what
nicer.
you're coming with. Yeah.
So with most clients that I work with, they actually send me, let's say for an example, you send me a car, your own car without any branding. I put decals, I put your name, I put your logo, I put your email address, and send it back to you. So, okay, this I like. But can we maybe change this blue to a lighter blue? And can you change this red to a yellow? And then we come to an agreement, and then I'll send it back to you as you want it, and we can start branding your vehicle.
I love it. I love how you know, it sounds like you go an extra mile.
You have to.
You don't just take what Musi would come with. I want this done this way. my
Yes.
brand is whatever, and I'll pay you. This is my brand. You actually take it a step further,
Yes.
and go the extra mile and saying, look, I see what your design is and what you might want and what you like, right? But how I would do it as someone who's well versed in that space, I would rather maybe perhaps have it this way. What do you think? And then we can have a conversation and try to find common ground and come up with a final product that will work for me and ultimately make me happy as the client. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
definitely,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because I think with the successes of the business comes with the mistake.
Yes.
With the mistakes. So, if for someone, because I heard you mentioning some of the things, and the mistakes that happen in the vehicle branding industry. So, what are the common, mistakes that a lot of companies, in the vehicle branding industry do? What are those mistakes?
What I would say is that if you look at a vehicle, okay, for argument's sake, you're driving home from the studio, right?
Yeah.
And there's a car in front of you at the road, right? It's branded on the sides, right? But at the back, you just see a small logo with no contact details, with not even explaining what the company is.
Yeah.
That's killing the business or killing your brand, because if I'm following you, I could still see your name brand, what you guys do, your email address, and your big number in big.
Yeah, in bold.
Because I can even take my phone out same time, take a picture of that, and give you a call. Hey, bro, I need to rent a toilet. I've got a wedding to do. I've got my son's birthday coming through on this weekend. Would you able to do this for me? But I would like it bigger. I would like it bolder. I would like people to actually see my brand.
Yeah.
Yes, the sides would work, but the side will only work when I see it on the side.
From the side,
But the vehicle is always driving. It's like a mobile advertising for you.
Yeah.
So the less you do at the back and put your details and stating what you're actually doing in your business gives me as your client an ability to actually give you a call and ask you for services.
Yeah.
Instead of saying high end. What is high end? Okay, it's high end branding. Okay, what do they do? But if I have a small side pillar stating that we do balloons, face balloons, events, t-shirt branding, corporate gifts. So you following me makes you understand what my business
what
is
you're
all about.
And I love how you just mentioned that, right? Making that example, Khori, the difference between having information on the back and just having a logo and just saying Musi Mist.
Yeah.
What's Musi Mist?
Exactly. So let me ask you now, and as someone who's been doing this for quite some time now, what do you think, on top of what you just mentioned, what do you think are some of the benefits now of having vehicle branding? And how does it help one's business reach their target market?
Yeah. It's all about the vibrant colors. One of my friends once said to me, have you ever noticed most known and famous brands always have a red
color?
Red.
Yeah.
Especially the color red.
KFC, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nike has also done a red theme sometimes.
Yes, McDonald's got yellow. But if you look at their packaging, the inside of the actual logo is red. To the actual packaging.
Wow.
Cabo Tombstones. Cabo Tombstones is red.
Yes.
You get my drift.
Yeah.
SG Nkosi toilet tire is red. So your mind is always focusing on that red.
Yeah. And you associate it with certain brands.
Yes.
I see.
So if you add red to one of your brands, it's gonna lift.
It's bound to stay.
Really?
It's gonna lift off, to be precise with you. And I've done a lot of cars without red.
Okay.
Yes, it works.
It works.
Yeah.
It's your brand. I'm not gonna say you don't have to use red or you have to use red. Some brands don't even have red, but we enhance what you have. Understand? Let's say, for argument's sake, your logo is blue.
Okay.
I would put blue and a lighter blue.
I mean, like we have here the Vooka.
Yes,
The Vooka
I
logo.
would put blue and a lighter blue, or maybe a gold, a touch of this, a touch of that, just to enhance it for your mind to actually understand. And every time you see that logo, it will always say that, oh, baleke ba di toilet.
Yeah.
Baleke ba di
Baleke ba
tombstones.
Yeah.
Baleke ba because
Yes.
you're always seeing the actual logo wherever you drive.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now, do the color have their own price categories?
Well, yes. As I stated earlier on, your pricing from monomeric is cheaper.
Okay.
Polymeric is more expensive, and your cost. And the difference between all these three products is just how they're made. Understand? So, for an example, your monomeric is like a piece of, how can I put it to make it simpler for you to understand it? Okay, a plant, right?
Yeah.
You see, let's say for argument's sake, it's like gum, chippies,
Yeah.
right? And then they roll it out, right? And they put it into those thick rollers.
Yes.
And then it goes in as a dough, then it goes out on that side as flat.
Yeah, as a sheet. Yeah.
That's monomeric. It's easy to get it done,
Oh.
right? And then now we're morphing into polymeric.
Polymeric. Yeah.
Polymeric, they're putting more plasticizers to make it stick better and last you longer.
Oh wow.
And most of the polymerics are UV coated.
So it's protected from the sun's rays.
Yes.
Ah, I see you.
You understand?
Yeah.
Then now we're morphing into the cast plant.
Yeah.
A cast plant, it starts as a liquid. So they roll out, they like, let's say for instance, there's like a base.
Yeah.
Then you put all your cost in there. You let it dry on its own without any rollers on it.
Yeah.
Right? It's flat. It's from liquid and it's now morphing into PVC.
PVC, yeah.
Understand? So that process is a little bit expensive. That's
Yeah.
why the product is more expensive. If you look at, even if you go on YouTube, people that actually wrap vehicles, the minute you pull that vinyl, it will tear.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
But if you have a quality product and you pull it, it won't tear. It won't change color.
Yeah.
Especially when you heat it up.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It remains the
Get my
same.
drift.
Yeah.
It
Very
remains the same. So it's got a memory whereby when you actually heat it, it goes back to its normal state.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's say for argument's sake, I made an issue or there's a crease on it.
Yeah.
I can actually lift it, heat
Heat
it
it
up,
up.
and put it back on
Oh wow.
with no color changing, and it still sticks,
Yeah.
and it's
And it's going
still
to
gonna
last
look
you
nice.
longer.
Nice.
Yes.
Very interesting, Mo. Very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
One last one before we head on over to a break. You've mentioned all of these things, right? So, polymeric,
Monomeric and your cost.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that, the sheet and how it's applied and what the process is. Now, with all of this information in hand, how do you now, as Tepo, as a business, as a brand, stay up to date with the latest trends and all of these things that are coming in? Like, how do you stay up to date and stay competitive?
Okay.
And stay attracting and clients gravitating towards you now as a company. With all of these influences coming in the market, I still want to go to Tepo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say it's all about how you do your job, Now, yes, we all want money, but I do it out of love.
Yeah.
That's why when there's a vehicle that needs to be branded, I am there. It's not because I'm the founder of the business, then I have to be sitting and watching the guys do the job.
Yeah.
I want to be there. I want to touch and feel the product.
Yeah.
Only customer, you've got guys doing this. Why are you doing
Why?
it?
Yeah.
Are you an entrepreneur or you trying to?
Or are you employed here yourself?
Are you employed here yourself?
Yeah.
No, it's just me loving the actual product, loving branding vehicles. The last time we were not wrapping, but we were putting a paint protection film on a Ferrari. 15 million rand Ferrari. So
Interesting.
it was amazing for me, but
Yeah.
because I was like wrapping a house, somebody's house,
15 million.
or houses,
But
guys,
Tepo, do you not get scared handling such
Ish,
delicate cars
man.
that cost so much
Fragile.
money, fragile,
It actually makes me more careful to actually do it the right way.
Yeah.
And not using any knife. We don't use knives when you actually putting a paint protection on a vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a thing called a knifeless tape. So where there's going to be cuts and all that, you just put your knifeless tape.
Okay,
You put your
I
vinyl
see.
on top or your paint protection film. As soon as you're done, you just
Just
pull
remove,
that,
yeah, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
it's clean, and it protects your paint. Stone chips, you know.
So is that one of the ways that you try and stay updated and try and stay, relating with the latest trends and all of these things that
Yes.
are coming in as influencers in the market?
And what I actually like doing is like going onto LinkedIn and checking all these suppliers from overseas and what they're doing, what they're bringing new, what are they doing different that we are not doing on this side.
Yeah.
And I'm learning from that. Take that, do it on our side, on my vehicle, and see if
Yeah.
it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Before we go into a client's
To do in
car.
someone else's car. Very
definitely, man.
interesting.
At 20 minutes past 9, it is the time. Yes, guys, you just hear my voice. I know the camera is all to Mr. Tsepo, who is here, an entrepreneur and a vehicle branding entrepreneur. So please do make sure that you join the conversation by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show to ask your questions. What you're gonna do right now is to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue with the conversation right here.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning.
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Still in conversation with the one and only Tsepo right here in studio. Yes, what you can do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show to ask the questions. So without wasting any time, I know that there's a lot that you want to, raise, especially awareness, because we want people to understand, the benefits of being in such business,
yes.
And how to start. And what do you need in order for you to fulfill all of the goals tools and needs that you need for the business. So my question that I want to ask is, based on what people put on their vehicles, man, so do you do graphicals, like graphical images, or you just say, hey, my friend, this,
we don't do that.
This does not speak and does not align with my brand?
Yeah.
Well, the more difficult the actual design is, the more I love
Exciting.
it. Yeah, and I
I
get
can
excited
imagine.
to
Have you
actually do
ever
it.
got such a customer though?
Yes, there was once a Jeep SRT. A guy wanted bloodstains on it and a big Hellcat logo on it.
Yeah.
So remember, from the body to the window, so it's like super big, and he wanted like a blood stains on it. So
I can imagine.
we had to come up with a plan,
Yeah.
and we had to make it work and make it look in
Realistic,
sync,
yeah.
So it was difficult to get it done, but we did get it.
Did he come with like an idea of what he
Yeah,
wanted?
he got it from the internet,
Okay.
which was done in the States.
Yeah.
And we took as is
Yeah.
and we incorporated onto his vehicle.
Sheesh.
But he was a finicky client because he couldn't even bring it to our shop. We had to go to his premises.
I can imagine. I
Wow.
can. So with that being said, like you mentioned, Khore, you have some of these ones that stand out for you. Now, what are some of the most memorable ones that maybe you can think of? Because off camera, Tsepo just showed us one that he did in Cape Town for a restaurant. It really, really looks like an actual painting.
Yep.
But it's something that he did, and a client from Cape Town flew out here, Soweto, and fetched him and said, "Look, dude,
This is
I've
what I
seen
want
your work,
done."
and I want you." So, what are some of the ones that stand out for you, and are the most memorable ones that you can think of?
Okay, that's one of them. And the other one that we did was, oh yes, my son's favorite car, a GTR.
Yeah,
The guy wanted it to be pearl white. Nobody had pearl white in the country then.
yeah.
So we had to actually get somebody to bring us that actual product. So we had to pre-order it, pay for it, and then get the vehicle done.
Wow.
So that was like amazing. bro.
I can imagine
was
the
amazing.
excitement.
And
of
the guy
his
had
seeing
a
it.
lot of vehicles, bro.
Yeah.
Like proper collector's
Yeah,
items.
yeah.
And then we did his first car. He's like, yo, bruh, the
is
next
proper.
vehicle that I'm doing, you are doing it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at most of the guys that are doing vehicle wraps, most of the time you get bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
It's not looking as professional
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
should. I'm not saying wet application is wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, guys.
Yeah.
Wet application is not wrong.
Yeah.
So wet application is me actually making the actual product wet.
Yeah.
For me to apply it a little bit easier. But it's not the way to go, to be honest with you, because the minute I put water on top of the adhesive, it's no more as strong as it should be. So I've diluted the actual adhesive on top of your backing paper.
I see what you mean.
So it makes it nice. It will stick, but it won't last you long.
Yeah.
Guys, please don't get me wrong. Wet application is not wrong.
It still works, but it's
still
not
works.
something that you
But
would
just try to
necessarily
teach yourself how to actually
recommend.
apply the vinyl without having water on it,
Yeah.
which lasts you longer, and it's gonna look as good as wet application.
Yeah.
Very interesting. More. I have one last one, and then I'm done in Tsepo for
No
today.
stress.
One last one from me.
Yeah,
from
man.
me though. If there's anyone that you would want to collaborate with, any car brand,
Yeah.
any company, any individual out there, business eating, maybe doing the same thing, or maybe not doing the same. If there's anyone, absolutely anyone that you can think of that you would say, with my company, I would want to collaborate with this person, or with this company, or with this brand.
That's a difficult.
Who do you think it would be?
I would say,
Even if there's more, more
Okay.
than one, yeah.
okay, let me put it this way. Maponya Toyota,
Okay.
that's one.
Okay.
There's VW there, there's Toyota there.
Yeah.
Everybody, Mogasi is a big fan of VW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually do decals for some other vehicle establishments, like your dealerships.
Yeah.
So, argument's sake, guy had an accident. His door was fixed. The one side will have GTI, the other side won't have GTI. So, insurance companies around Mokasi would work with, And to be honest with you, my dream is moving my printing and branding industry into something that will actually help little kids, especially Momo guys, because I would like to have a rap school as time goes on.
Oh wow!
Yes.
That'd be so cool.
We have whoever comes through. Don't tell me about your qualifications or I used to do drugs and I don't do them anymore, especially guys that were arrested before.
Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult for them to get jobs.
Reform and rehabilitation.
Yeah, man. We collaborate with Josie FM, bring your vehicles, we rep them, we actually teach these kids. Because at times you would like to do something growing up, you know, I would like to be a designer, but are you a fashion designer? You want to be a fashion designer now?
Or graphics.
But growing up, you do, they don't teach you about that. They'll teach you the products and they'll teach you all the systems, but they won't teach you how to move forward with the actual branding. So I would like to have kids, we have their names, you know, have their faces on the back. You design something on yourself on my computers, right? You design everything. We print it. We teach you how to print, how to actually lay
Apply
out
it.
your vinyl onto the machine for cutting.
Yeah.
Because there's two ways, right? There's a front part and the back part. So these are the things that we need to teach at a younger age.
Yeah.
And these kids will actually move into, as I said, the pie is big. So I can teach you what is branding, or I can teach you what design is. You come up with a different plan that I didn't even think of, and make it your own business.
Yeah, move on and monetize it yourself. Yeah.
Go dladleng ba paisa aja. But the containers are dladleng
And branding.
So let me speak to Tepo, Reteso, and this is the brand. This is my concept. Can you bring it to life? Yes, we can. You know, Machita Baya. Negative drugs. I don't do drugs anymore. I don't have span. I don't have this. What can I do? Let's work, bruh. If there's a trailer coming through and I'm willing to say, bruh, for the day I'll give you at least whatever I am thinking, it's okay for you to actually push your day or push your week.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow you're back again. There's 100 or 200 t-shirts that needs to be branded. You're pressing there. You're learning. We growing.
Yeah.
That's how most companies started. If you look at your Postnet, Postnet started in a garage.
Such interesting stuff. Such interesting stuff.
Interesting, Mr. Tepo, man, because we know we're not gonna finish.
No,
we're not
you
gonna
wouldn't,
finish
you
because
wouldn't,
but I'm glad you raised that, man. It was the question that I want to ask Jorge. You know, how do we raise awareness so that people can be, you can be easily accessible to people? Because I think here we are working on bringing people like you, and then spreading awareness. Jorge, guys. If you want to do branding, Mr. Tepo is here, and this is how you can reach out to him. Because but all they scared when they hear, body designing. I went to school. They're like, he will want me qualifications.
And guess what? We don't charge for designing.
Wow.
We don't charge for design.
Like I said, you go an extra mile. You go a step further.
It's me looking for your business. Remember, if I don't get your business, my doors will close. So if I design for you at the fee, like most guys would do, like $650, $1,000 for the designing, and then you still have to pay for your vehicles to be brought to me. It's going to be a very expensive exercise. So if I cut cost on your designing, because I love designing, so I design for you. We're happy with the design. We start branding your vehicles. Seeing your work on the road is so exciting. Even my kids, Daddy, that's the car that you did. That's the car that you did.
I mean,
and it's amazing, bro. Seeing your work.
I can feel more. I can almost see and feel the excitement when like these big cars and amazing cars come into your office, and these guys are there, and it's Tepo, I want you to do this for me. I can imagine the excitement that comes with having to apply and design for the client, and see that car there, the final product. Essentially, I can imagine. I can imagine. Oh man,
so
sir.
Mr. Tepo, if people want to reach out to you, how do they find you?
Okay, you can call me direct on my phone.
Yes, sir.
063-293-8375. And on WhatsApp and direct calls, that's the number to actually go on.
Yeah.
If you go onto our Facebook page, it's High End Printing and Branding Solutions. You can have a look at the jobs that we did, and then you can take it from there.
Yes, sir. You heard it for yourself, Honokochaye. Tsepo shared his WhatsApp and call number, which will be shown on your screen by Katz in just a second. And of course, on Facebook, you can also follow him and reach out to him if there's any work that you would love to do with him. And he's found at High End Branding and
High-end printing and branding
solutions. Yes, sir. That's on Facebook. So Tsepo was hanging out with us this morning for our business blog, because we try and bring you very relevant people doing amazing stuff in and around our communities. And Tsepo is someone that is based right here in Soweto, Rockville, not too far from where we are. So you need not leave Soweto to find all of these amazing businesses that do amazing jobs. Head on over to his Facebook page and see some of the work that he's done. I promise you will not regret. Off camera, he was showing us some of his work, and it looks amazing. And one of our members here, one of our team, Kat, is saying that he absolutely needs to visit your offices. And who knows, maybe one day you might see a Vooka brand out there, or Vooka branding, and it will absolutely be done
by me,
by Tsepo. Absolutely, I promise that's going to happen. So if there's any, of course, questions and opinions, queries, answers, and anything else in between, reach out across all our social media platforms. We go by Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. Tsepo, we really appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with us, man. And spend time with us and share your story and all of this information and knowledge. Because I don't want to branding. We're like, okay, but we don't understand the actual work that goes behind it, and the designing and the amount and the knowledge and information that one needs to acquire and have. So we love it, and we hope that soon and very soon you'll come back and share more, because there's so much that we didn't get into, So that was it, man. Of course, this is what we do every Monday morning on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Mo?
Yeah, definitely, man. That was the one and only Mr. Tsepo Matibe joining us. If you want the interview, what you can do is just to press the rewind button, or we're going to cut it for you so that you can watch the interview. So right now we're going to take a break, and then when you come back, we get into our next interview with Miss Pretty Mashego, who's also a dynamic entrepreneur. So stay with us.
Thank you, guys.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Mest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working with my TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manelin Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to you live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TC Mazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
I'm gonna give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes,
Definitely, that's what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, starting our week with a very positive note. Speaking of positive note, that was Tepo Matibe right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And also, we know that we have various guests from different fields. And speaking of various guests, before I get into my guest, I am joined here by the one and only, the beautiful lady, Afriberry. Afriberry, good morning, and how are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, family. Good morning, team. I hope everybody's feeling very fantastic on this very sunny Monday morning. Now, we just had a very wonderful and fantastic interview, Tepo Konamanje, telling us about his brand and the different elements of when it comes to branding your car. Me, I just thought what banka sticker ba maparetsa mara.
There's a lot, man. Yeah, monumeric, polymeric.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that people need to learn out there, rather than just going out there and expecting without the detailed information that you need. But yeah, we are not onto that because right now we are joined by another guest, Miss Pretty Mashego, who is a dynamic entrepreneur. Good morning, Miss Pretty, and how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, everyone, all the listeners, the presenters.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we really appreciate you taking your time and coming here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, because we're all about, it's all about the dose of giving positivity each and every day to those ones who wake up hopeless, in our community. So, for someone who is watching right now and doesn't know who Pretty Mashego is, can you please take us through who you are and what you do?
Pretty Mashego is a dynamic entrepreneur. Let me cut it short. So what I do, I'm all about solving the problems that the community is facing on a day-to-day basis. So every time I go to sleep, when I wake up with a brilliant idea on how to solve the needs of the community members, depending on the place where I wake up in that day. So I'll be focusing on those needs in that province. So that on its own, it meant the footprint for Silore Services, which is a business that I had co-founded and established 5 years ago. It has footprints in 3 different provinces, which is Limpopo, Western Cape, as well as Gauteng. I am a coach when I'm not busy thinking about solving problems. I'm advocating that people should follow their purpose, and I'm also helping the needy via an organization called Women at Work. So basically what we do, we adopt schools and we seek donors, and when we get those donations, we then hand them over to the different schools. The highlight for 2025 is when we donated about 40 pairs of school shoes to 2 different schools around this area, as part of our back to school program. So that's me. I'm a mother of 3, businesswoman, I'm a coach, I'm a student as well, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm operating in the township of Tembisa when I'm in Gauteng. So I live in Midrand and I'm operating around Tembisa. So basically what I do in Tembisa, I'm all about sustainable housing solutions.
Okay.
So sustainable housing solution, and today's term, I could easily say or innovative. So basically what I do, I acquire properties, I revamp them, establish them, and to ensure that it's perfect for my target audience.
Yeah.
And as soon as they're ready to be marketed, I then rent them out.
Yeah.
Either rent them out as finished units or rent them out as unfinished units. With the flexible in terms of the lease, especially the unfinished one, you're coming to work in Waterfall, you just landed a position somewhere around Midrand or Joburg or Pretoria, and most when they give you an offer, they don't give you much time to be going around and be searching for accommodation. I'll be the one running around on your behalf, checking which one will be your next Gautrain station, what type of transport you will be using, and where you're going to sleep. So you just have to get to work on time. So I'm just taking that out from a young person who's relocating to Joburg or city of Joburg for work purposes. So that's what I do in terms of Boshoff cottages.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That was so brief, and for someone who's watching, man, I think they would understand, the work that you do. But now, speaking of solutions, man, what are some of the problems that you have, woke up to in terms of the community that you are in, or communities in fast?
The problems are massive. I just want to deep dive, especially with regards to housing, sustainable housing challenges that we're solving as accommodation providers.
Okay.
I don't want to dwell much on the student accommodation, but however, that's one of the aspects that we are navigating in terms of there are a lot of universities around South Africa, as we all know, especially in the cities, like you will talk about the metros, However, when you look at the universities can only cater for lectures. They cannot have adequate accommodation to cater for the students. So that's where we come in terms of providing suitable accommodation so that they can focus on their studies and be able to pass at the end of the term and progress with their careers. Same applies to the township. The other aspect is that there are jobs available everywhere. However, when you look at where the people are supposed to be sleeping or staying, is either it is too far from work or there is no suitable accommodation. When you are a job entrant, you normally get a stipend, not a salary. And when you look at the accommodation that is available, you cannot afford it. When you also think of applying other aspects such as maybe grants or either other types of funding, you cannot necessarily also qualify because maybe of your score as well. You haven't worked before and you don't have that history. So that's where we come in terms of accommodation, providing sustainable accommodation which is safe, which is reasonable, affordable, and also located closer or in proximity of the business areas or the economic opportunities that Gauteng has to offer or any other metro has to offer for that matter. The other challenge that I'm currently navigating, which I'm solving in terms of women at work, it is the lack of suitable school shoes for our learners. When you look at the research or the statistics, it is about 17 million scholars.
Okay.
I'm actually talking about primary as well as high school scholars that don't have school shoes. We're talking mainly about rural areas, but however, this problem is vast and it spreads across all provinces. I'm also selling food, hot food in the township of Tembisa at Ivory Park, and the establishment is called Busy Bite. So how it came about that I had established Busy Bite, I've learned that we live in a busy world. When you wake up in the morning, you're thinking about traffic in order for you to get to work, and you go to work without eating breakfast. And all that I do is try to solve that problem, to say don't go to work without eating breakfast, and don't go to sleep without eating or missing your lunch or your dinner. So I'm providing those meals to people that are on a low budget and that are looking for alternative options, health options for that matter. So those are the needs that are the problems that I am navigating and solving for my community where I live.
Well, seems like Ms. Tejo is a woman of different calibers, man. And I would like, just to give you that compliment of the work that you do. But now, all that I care about is, the balance that you get because yes, you are in the, what you call this thing, the sustainable housing solutions, right? Let me say right now, you have to just divide yourself so that some of the things can get done. How do you balance your time? Do you have a team that is behind working with you, or you are the frontliner who does all of the work?
All right. Fortunate enough, I am working with a team with different structures in all the organization. With Silveray Services, there's a fully functional structure. I'm currently here in studio now, but my customers are queuing up there and buying their breakfast. So, and it is very important in everything that one does or partake, to also have, an enclosed structure, especially where you come from. I have a very supportive partner who actually dropped me by the studio this morning to ensure that this interview takes place. And also my kids as well, they're also helping me in terms of support and sharing, So I come from that background whereby you don't do it alone. You do it with a family that is backing you. So my immediate family is actually backing me, and my employees, my staff, and the structures in all the organizations where I'm working, they're also backing me and ensuring that we attain that goal at the end of the day.
Mama Shiro. Hey, you have a very full plate that has so many different things that you do. So I wanted to know, how do you balance it with your personal life and for your children? How important it is for them to learn the human value of you being able to help people, or see the importance of being a leader that is also there for people in their community, people who are less privileged?
Balancing, especially for us moms, that's a bit challenging. It's a challenge, yes, to balance work, to balance personal life, to balance my own schedule. So what I do, I put up a schedule, and I don't slot in other tasks within the schedule that are not supposed to take place on the day. So I'm very strict on the schedule, and I'm also strict with time. Hence, 5 minutes to me is a lot, because it's not 5 minutes, but it's $5. So every minute counts for me. So that's what helps me to ensure that I stick to all the tasks that I'm supposed to attain. And what I do before I wake up, or before I engage with anybody else or the outside world, I just ensure that the tasks for the days are clear. They are tabled out. I can see them. They are visible. And I also rehearse them in my mind as to how my days will go about. And if there are any derailers, derailers are always there. Detours are always there. If there are any detours, I try as much as possible to learn from the detour, to say, what is it that this derailer or this detour has taught me, And I might have lost a particular task that I was supposed to do at 10 o'clock due to traffic, but what is it that traffic has taught me? Perhaps it has taught me to be patient. Perhaps it has taught me to maybe refuel my car day before, perhaps it has taught me to navigate before I leave the house, to look for alternatives, maybe an alternative will take 10 minutes longer, but what is it that this particular detour has taught me, so that in future, if the same situation presents itself, I should navigate it differently. So that's mainly what I do every day. And what is more important and key for me in everything that I do, to take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, you cannot reciprocate what you don't have. And it's very important not to compare yourselves with other people. Be yourself, be content with who you are, and be happy with who you are. And then your day will flourish.
I have Boitepo Maimela right there on YouTube. Are beautiful and inspiring for mummies, in which is something that I want to get to. But the one that is concerning, I think, for most of the people is the sustainable housing. You spoke about, learners who want, residence, and they can't because of they can't meet certain requirements, So there are, learners I know who, go through local and township colleges, and some of them, they find themselves in the residence where people live in, rather than student residence. So how does that have an impact? Is it something that you're working with? Is it something that we're working towards to make sure that, okay, if learners are going to be, inside the household, maybe a back room of someone renting it out, is it something that should be happening?
with regards to student accommodation, that is a different niche from sustainable housing, which is my niche. So for me, my target audience are the working class. However, I do accommodate learners or students. However, there is a rigorous process that they have to go through before they are being granted accommodation, in terms of screening, in terms of contacting the parents, and getting emergency contact and a reference check and so forth, and also for the parents to qualify, because a student will not necessarily qualify because they don't have a salary, they don't have like maybe a stipend that is coming through almost every month. So you will need someone that is working, maybe their parent or their guardian, who will go through the process, and as soon as that process has been approved, then they're the ones that are taking the lease. However, there are measures that you put in place for students. They need to be supervised. You need to lock the gates. All these other aspects needs to take place. And even the setup of the room is different from the setup of the room of a working class person. With the student, all they are concerned about is Wi-Fi, a desk where they can study and put their books and so forth. But with the working class, they will want other things like maybe a big screen TV and so forth and so forth. So the requirements are all different, and there are legislative requirements as well that are pressing accommodation owners, especially when it comes to accommodation service providers, to say these are the requirements and you need to follow that process in order to be accredited to be offering accommodation. However, there is a slight difference when it comes to accommodation providers that are not NSFAS accredited, whereby there's that flexibility. You'll find that maybe security is there, but maybe not a security guard, but maybe an alarm that has been installed in the property, or maybe and maybe the lights that are linked to the alarm, that will flash whenever a person passes by and so forth. So there are other innovative solutions that are being integrated. However, you'll find that the whole structure or the whole property, it is not accredited with NSFAS. So that's the difference. So there won't be a parent, because you wouldn't live with your client, with your tenant. You will be staying at another residence while the students are on their own. So it all depends on the maturity of your clients, especially the learners, and it'll also depend on the owner, as in what type of a niche are they in, and the niche will sort of like guide their strategy and how they execute it.
So how does Lorraine Services, address social issues and economic issues in communities, in contrast, because we know that sometimes we need awareness that can be brought out to people and tell the people that, okay guys, this is what we are facing and this is the solution that we're going to be bringing in front of you, so that everything can become better socially and economically.
What is very nice about Silure Services is that we don't function in isolation with the community where we live. So when you come to Ebony Park in Tembisa, we do everything that our community does. We partake in all the activities. We partake in philanthropic activities that are taking place. We go to church in Ebony Park. We are not separated from our clients. However, what is nice is that half of our clients are not coming from Tembisa. These are people that are coming from Soweto, and they just landed an opportunity outside Soweto, and they're looking for accommodation in Soweto. So where Silore comes in is to orientate you when you are coming to live in Midrand or in Tembisa. And we try and make you as comfortable as when you are in Soweto, as in where is the best Shisanyama spot in Tembisa? Where are we hanging around in Tembisa? Just to ensure that you gel well, and then you can go home whenever you've got time, but don't go home because you miss a favorite quota at a particular spot in Zola, So that's what we do. And we're very big as an organization, as small as we are, we're very big on philanthropic work. We're very big in giving back to the community, not in terms of school shoes only, but in terms of coaching, in terms of sports, we're very big in sports as a family as well. We run marathons, So those marathons, some of them are also taking place within Tembisa in the community. So that's what we do, and we don't separate ourselves from the people that are actually helping us pay our bills.
Definitely interesting conversation. And if you want to ask your question, do make sure that you use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We're still with Ms. Pretty Mashego, who is a dynamic entrepreneur, so much of a mover and shaker in the community of Ebony in Tembisa, right? So Afriman, with this information, what is it that you're picking up and you would like to know, man?
I'm picking up like I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
Those are like the type of vibes I'm picking up. And at this moment, I bet your kids are like very proud of the woman that they get to see and they see every day evolving in front of their eyes, becoming, this amazing heroine throughout the community. One thing also, I have two questions. So I saw that you're also a coach. So I wanted to know, what type of coaching do you do? And then we're also going to go back to the Women and Work Association, where we talk about the sustainable housing. So I wanted to know that, as much as everybody may try to find sustainable housing that is very affordable and close to where they live, but how important is it to understand a lease that you have with your landlord? And if you don't have a lease, why is it also important to also have that contract so that nobody ends up skipping any boundaries?
Interesting question. I love it. I love it, especially when you get to the gist of doing things right, legislative requirements. I'm going to start with the top one. So out of all the hats that I'm wearing, the one of being a mother is the one that when I execute it, I execute without even thinking about the working hours. It is a privilege and an honor for me to be a mom.
Yeah.
And shout out to everyone who doesn't have a kid or who doesn't mother anybody. However, for me personally, this is now personal. It's getting very personal now.
Yeah.
When you're raising your own kids, and you obviously raise them under a particular value system and a structure. And when they are older and you see them now reciprocating what you have been teaching them all these years, that is so heartwarming. So out of all these roles that I'm doing, you can pretend. I can pretend here in a podcast. I can pretend with my colleagues at work. I can pretend anywhere I go. However, with your kids, you cannot pretend. They know you when you're happy. They know you when you're sad. They know you when you don't mean it. They know you when you are acting. So every day, what I'm trying to teach them is that as much as one day they will grow up and have their own careers, I want to be a DJ, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a this and that. But at the end of the day, they need to filter that and add entrepreneurship along. Because we cannot always rely that the state will hire all of us. Some of us will not be hired, but we still need to continue living. So what I'm advocating to them is that whatever career choice that you choose a career that you can employ yourself, so that even if it happens that you are not being absorbed, you are able to absorb yourself and also contribute to the GDP of the country. So when it comes to coaching, that's more or less what I do every day with any person that I meet. I can start with you. All that I'm saying is that let's tap into your purpose. We all have a purpose in life, why we were born, and when we were born, something has been deposited into us that it needs to be unleashed for you to live a purposeful or a purpose-led life. So that's what I do in coaching, and the other coaches that will come through, I will meet them along the way, during networking session, during summit, during webinars online, you just met a person and they are like intrigued of something that you might have mentioned along maybe your response or your question and answer session, and they want to know more, and then that's when coaching services will come into play. Some is people that have tried different things in life and still they don't get it right. And when you're a coach, you can never say you're tired, or you can never say this person is uncoachable. You keep on trying up until they try and shed the old skin and they become new. Because every day it presents an opportunity to learn. When I came here in studio this morning, you didn't know that you were going to learn 1, 2, 3 from me, and I also didn't know that I'm going to learn 4, 5, 6 from you. But when you meet different people every day, they present an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself, to learn something, to challenge yourself. So when it comes to accommodation, it is very crucial for everyone that is renting out. Make sure that there's a lease. The basics are in place, because there's death, there's risk. Death is one of the risks that we're navigating as sustainable accommodation providers, whereby I am renting from your mom and sadly she passes on, and now you want to kick me out because you guys want to sell the house. But now I'm working here at the station closer to work. That's why I live here. That's why I'm renting here. But if there's a lease agreement in place, even when such unforeseen circumstances arises, I will not be kicked out because the lease will advocate on my behalf.
Yeah.
So it is very important for everyone to have a lease. It does not only protect the leaseor, which is the person who's renting, it also protects you, the must-stand, you, the landlord, in terms of anything that can happen in between, either foreseen or either unforeseen circumstances that might arise in the process.
Yeah.
So lease agreement, it's number one. And another challenge that we're navigating in that space is as tenants that maybe are failing the verification process, like in terms of unaffordability. And what is nice is that if you've got a financial challenge that you're navigating in terms of maybe your credit scores and so forth, you can always get other people that can rehabilitate you in order for you to qualify so that you get that accommodation that you deserve or that you're looking for. So those are the things that we're supposed to do them right, especially legislative requirements, because we all live under a particular legislation that we all expected to comply to. And by in compliance to that legislation, you're not only doing yourself a favor at that time, but it's something that you can rip off the benefits even years after maybe that lease has expired, because you don't want to be called back 10 years later to say you damage a particular property, you must come and fix it, you must come and maintain it. But if you have a lease, you're only staying for that particular period. If that period elapses, then the lease will elapse first, and then your relationship will also be cut. So anything that you might be owing, it needs to be settled within that stipulated period. So that's the importance of having a lease agreement in place, so that you are covered for any unforeseen circumstances that might arise in the process.
Yo, Mo, at this moment, I kind of wish my neighbors were listening, because I have a situation where I live where I have neighbors who rented in a house. So they kind of turned the house into a commune where everybody's in the house, but everybody has their own room that they share within the house. And the problem was that they'd never signed a lease. And so now stand athi mina phumani ngifuna uzokuhlalisa ugogo wami. And the worst part is that knowing very well with the South African law that even if you chase a person, they need to have 3 months. She's not even doing that, despite whether you have a lease or not. That's the actual law. A person needs 3 months to vacate, and they're not doing that. I think by having you today, it's basically highlighting the most important things that people even still today skip. Having a lease agreement, especially when you're renting out, because even if you go and sign sign a flat Vonaveli, you still need to have a lease agreement. Or you go Blue Hills and Midrand, you still need to have a lease agreement. I hope people are learning the importance of having a lease agreement when you go in and live, especially if umastandi uyashon. And
Ms. Mashego, having said, you guys have received a lot of numbers of people who are outside of Tembisa. Please take me and walk me through the challenges that you guys have had with those people.
Jeez. So Tina, our systems, we use a system that is very innovative. So in terms of applying technology, and yet before a person will come and rent out a place, they will want to view the place. You know what you are buying. You want to see if the corners are really for or they are not for. So Tina, with the clients that are coming outside city of Joburg, you'll find that they don't have time to come and view. Maybe they are in Durban, they want to move in on a Saturday, and on Monday they are going to work. So we need to arrange for virtual viewing. And in virtual viewing, they don't tend to see everything. Maybe they will be focusing on the house only, not the other things, the other items. So virtual viewing, and secondly, affordability. And thirdly, I will say the biggest challenge that we are navigating is service delivery. I will touch on load shedding as well as the water crisis within COJ. So those are the aspects that are actually putting us out of business and be operating at an occupancy rate of maybe 80% due to the fact that there's no electricity at times or there is no water.
Yeah. There's so many to touch on because now, no, we don't have so much time with you. But I want to touch on something that is very, very, that is of utmost important, which is the lease agreement. I know that there are a lot of circumstances that people can find themselves in. The lease agreement. What do you feel? Conflict. To say, okay, I have been here and now someone just moved and then a new tenant has come in. So how do we deal with the situation? Is it something that we deal with it legally, or we need to, come to terms with verbal agreement on what has been happening on the past years? So how do you guys, take the matter into hand? Do you guys first, use the chain of the legal services, which is going to the court and, attending or going to the police station to address this issue? Or you guys use your own ways that you have come up with?
Fortunately enough, I would say knowledge also helps a lot and plays a very vital role, especially in the game of entrepreneurship. So with me, my background, I've studied safety management, which has got lots of legislation within. However, those legislation, they don't necessarily cover the ones that I'm currently navigating in business. But what I can share is that before you could even think of court, we individuals, we people, and we are. It is both of us that entered into this agreement of lease agreement. Why don't we sit down and discuss before we can even take it further? And if we are not winning, let's get maybe a third person who can come and mediate. And if we don't still reach any conclusion from that, then we can go the litigation route, of which it will be the final step. So we try as much as possible at Silore Services to resolve issues before we can even get to litigation, because at the end of the day, we don't want to damage the reputation and the relationship with our clients, because you might be staying at our accommodation. However, when you leave, you are the one who can bring us another person who will maybe substitute you within Bush of Cottages, or maybe a colleague or somebody else that maybe in your circle that you can refer to our accommodation. So it is very vital for us that we keep that relationship active and open with all our clients, even the ones that have already left.
Interesting. And one of the questions that I want to ask, because of the work that you do, and most of the time it involves people who are in the community and also people who come outside and having to have the information that you guys have as Silore Services. So what kind of misinformation is out there about the work that you guys do? Maybe someone feels skeptical to say, hey, Silore, what they do, they actually misinform people. So what kind of awareness you want to put out there?
When you go on social media and you're looking for accommodation, half of our clients that are looking for accommodation, they are pressed with time. They want accommodation isn't like yesterday. However, the formalities needs to take place. The screening needs to happen. The viewing still needs to happen. The contact details. If you're contacting me on my cell, you wouldn't necessarily trust that you are really speaking to Pretty Mashiho, the owner of Bush of Cottages. But if you make time to also screen the service provider as well, to check if I am compliant as a business owner, that will sort of like help you in case you are being scammed. Because when you just go on Facebook and search accommodation, you will find a lot of accommodation. Maybe even Bush of Cottages will be listed there, not by me, by scammers, using maybe my number or a similar number. Or when they call me on my direct line, they say, no, there's no network on that that phone. Can you try this phone number, which is not even associated with me? And when you try that phone, they will maybe say deposit money for application or for viewing, for Toni, or you are unable to even come and view. You can deposit money so that we can send you the videos virtually and this and that and that. They can say a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you will be scammed. And when it comes to my attention, I will deassociate myself with the scam, because that's not the process that I follow. I have a process that has been documented on how I assist my clients or potential clients to be able to view, even if you are unable to come and view in person, but this is the process that you follow. So people should be aware of scammers, and they should do background check on people whom they want to associate themselves with, because a lease agreement, it's a tight document. It's a bond. It's the same as in like we are married to this person, because you're now sharing responsibilities. You wouldn't share responsibilities with a person that you don't know, because you'll be sharing your ID documents with me. So you might as well have my ID document because we are in a relationship of providing accommodation to one another. So verification, background check, and research.
Yeah, definitely, because cybersecurity has been one of the issues that a lot of people are finding themselves in when submitting, information that regards their personal things and personal, documents. Speaking of that, but now I want you to, sell cellular array services to someone who is watching right now. Because I know a lot of people have, they have heard you. To the people who are watching right now, they have heard you with what you have spoken about, including your sustainable housing solutions to people and also coaching on top of that. So now it's time to sell, the cellular array services to the one who is watching. And what is it that they can look out for?
Viewers and listeners at home, if you are moving a home away from home, consider staying at Cellular Services. Why Cellular Services? We're not just an accommodation provider. However, we offer you a 1-bedroom, which is a separate lockable bedroom, separate from your toilet or your ablution facility, with hot water, which is coming from a solar geyser, which will reduce your electricity bill. We also have a separate kitchen, which is installed with built-in units. And we use a gas stove. How nice is that you will be saving still on your electricity bill? And we're not only situated at Tembisa, will be affected with traffic and so forth. We have the Gauteng route. You can still catch your Gautrain while you're staying at our accommodation. And guess what? We're not only in Tembisa, but we're also closer to all the opportunities that Gauteng has to offer. We're just 20 km away from OR Tambo International Airport.
Wow.
Few kilometers to Pretoria, few kilometers to Sandton and Rosebank. So, come and stay at Boshoff Cottages. It is your home away from home.
Ooh. Very good, very good. Oh my goodness. Now my things that disappoint me. I wanted to give you the pop, but that's it verbally, So, Ms. Mashego, thank you so much for being with us. And obviously, if people want to get hold of you guys, because I'm sold right now, definitely I'm looking to cellular array services. And you know what? I will, tell my friends about it. If you're working, you want to get closer to work, definitely check out cellular array services, right? So where can people find you?
So, thank you that I've already scored a customer here. We can't wait to welcome you at Cellular Services. We are available on WhatsApp. I will encourage the viewers and listeners to tag us on WhatsApp 068 602 8354. 068 602 8354. We're also available on Instagram, Silo_services, and I am available as well on Facebook, Pretty Mashego, in case you want to take along in terms of the coaching, or maybe you want to donate a school pair of shoes, or you know of a family that is in need of school shoes. You can also take along Pretty Mashego on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Pretty Mashego. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I love that you mentioned, the school shoe issue, because as a Vooka Breakfast Show, we are dedicated into making sure that our communities are served properly. So we're going to use this information to spread it widely so that exposure can be get. People can bring those shoes right here to donate, and then we will communicate with the cellular array services.
Yeah, big up to that one.
Definitely. That was the only Pretty Mashego, a dynamic entrepreneur. So I hope that you guys got all of the information that she gave right here in studio. So we hope that you're going to join us, next time, just to tell us about how business is going and how is the organization is as a whole. Because definitely we're looking at collaboration that can make our communities better and economically let us grow as South African citizens. Thank you so much for being with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is where we are saying we will see you tomorrow right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. But before, man, Afriberry, anything you want to say the last? It is Monday, man. I am motivated, man, by people who talk about Tepo was here, told us the business, and right now Mrs. Pretty Mashego, man, just gave us very, very insightful information.
So for me, my motivation that I got today is Being a mother will never stop you from achieving the dreams that you have. There may be multiple, but women are always known for doing multiple tasks. So stand up for what you believe in. Make sure that you also nurture the younging that you have to become a much more greater and better person of themselves in society. Shine and be who you can be, and don't ever forget that you yourself, you are your biggest and most amazing motivator before somebody can even tell you what you are outside there.
Definitely shine, people, shine out there. So right now, what you're gonna do, man, is to give you your recap of the day. So right, the question is, did any of you at home figure out what the idiom means of the day? Remember that our word for the day was melancholy, and the definition for it is a pensive or thoughtful state of mind. And also, when you speak about the idiom, we gave you a perfect example of how the idiom sounded like. So the idiom of the day was a touch of melancholy in the air. So right now, comment section is open for you to let me know what you think. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show is the hashtag to use. We had and we started with our news and sports headlines. Also, Monday motivation guests were here bringing you insightful information that you can use and apply in your businesses, and also being part of the community mover and shaker. So right now, what we're gonna do is just to say thank you so much for being with us. We hope that we will see you tomorrow morning once again, 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m. This was the Vooka Breakfast Show with me, Moketi Maiman, aka Max for Maximum Temperature, the son of Mother Nature. Generator. Definitely see you tomorrow. Have a very beautiful week ahead of you. It's Monday motivation. Stay positive, stay safe.
And from me, your girl Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze, the darker the berry, the sweeter the tonton. Imnandu mamnyama, mam shopilek teka taken, but marloko famanama weta komaka. We're saying sayonara, see you tomorrow. You saw, man.
friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboneng,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.